Now, if the Knights can get a win in Memphis, UCF could potentially move up further in the AP Top 25 poll. But there are three big things to keep in mind as we approach the college football playoff rankings. And those are the number of teams right ahead of UCF in the top 25 rankings. If all three of these teams lose that you can see on the screen, the Knights could move up to number 7 in the rankings. And keep in mind we're only 2.5 weeks out from the first college football playoff rankings being released. Now, the most likely team out of the three to lose would be Washington, since they play a tough Oregon squad. It's 7 versus 17, and Oregon's had plenty of experience against top 25 teams so far. So as you can see, Penn State, who's 8, and Texas, who's 9, don't play ranked teams this week. But don't count the underdogs out just yet. The any given Sunday rule for the NFL can easily apply to college football, and Michigan State and Baylor are no slouches on the field. Anyhow,
"32 picks up for grabs, with over 300 players waiting to see where they land, with lives changing at a moment's notice forever. Hidden in Field's most anticipated show of the year, the HTF Draft Show, starts now. Let's get it."
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Good evening, and welcome to Hitting Field's 3rd edition of the HTF Draft Show. I am your host, Anthony Abruzzo, but you might also know me as Ant. This will be my first and only time hosting the show, and I couldn't be more excited. Armond Sarduy, Jaret Kappelman, and Kyle, might I add, Partain, will also host at some point during the show. That gets me every time. But now, allow me to introduce who's joining me on the set. To my left, it's Jaret Kappelman and Troy Alford. Gentlemen, happy draft night. How y'all doing tonight?
Fantastic. I'm feeling good, man. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And to my right, we have Tyler Fellman and Dominic Smith, who is actually making his debut. Gentlemen, happy draft night. How y'all doing tonight?
Great. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Before we talk about what we are looking forward to seeing in the draft, let's send things over to Armond, who is standing by. Armond, what's good, man?
Man, Ant, it's a beautiful, beautiful night. You know, I expect greatness from my 49ers. I am joined here by Jeremy Brener of the Houston Texans. And we're just ready to get this thing started. Back to you, Ant.
Okay. All right. All right, thanks, Armond. Appreciate that. All right, so, guys, we are about 10 or so minutes away from the Cardinals making their first pick. But I'd like to know, what are you looking forward to seeing in the first round tonight? Dom, since this is your first appearance, I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
I'm actually interested to see what teams do. We've been hearing a lot of chit-chat, a lot of rumbling about the Redskins and some of the different teams, the Raiders, you know, maybe jumping up to 4 to take Dwayne Haskins. Obviously, there's a lot of debate about who's the best quarterback, who needs a quarterback, edge rusher. So it'll be interesting to see what these teams do. Are they going to trade up, or are they going to stay where they are and just try to take the best available?
How many trades do you think we're going to see tonight in the first round?
At least 3.
At least 3. Okay. All right, Tyler, what are we looking forward to seeing tonight?
I'm just looking forward to seeing the madness. I think every year something crazy happens. Somebody you don't expect is going to get picked in the first round. Teams are going to trade out, trade in. There's 5 teams without a first-round pick. I'm expecting at least one of them to try to get a first-round pick before the night's over.
Who do you think that one team could make that crazy pick tonight? Give me one.
Crazy pick? I'd say, like, watch out for the Cowboys or the Saints to trade into the first round.
Okay. All right. Jaret?
Unrealistically, I know it's not going to happen, but I want to see the Eagles trade up and try to draft a corner. Greedy Williams would be my pick.
Yeah,
I want to watch someone other than Jalen Mills or Ronald Darby get burned this year. I'm sick of watching those two, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think secondary for the Eagles is like their most important draft need, and I think I'm with you on that. I think Greedy Williams would be a really great pickup for us. Yep. What about you, Troy? What are you looking forward to?
I'm caught up in the Kyler Murray story. Like, I'm interested in seeing where he goes. Is it the Cardinals? Will he slide back to maybe like the Giants or something like that? I mean, we've been hearing a lot of chit-chat about the Cardinals, so I'm really interested to see what happens with them.
What do we think about our quarterbacks in this year's draft? Do we think that Kyler Murray is the best quarterback, or do we think it's Dwayne Haskins or somebody else?
I mean, I think it's fair enough to say he is the best quarterback. Haskins is also great, but I believe Kyler Murray is the best quarterback. Even though
Jared, give me your opinion on this.
Athletically, I think it's Kyler Murray. The whole, measurements of his size, height, weight, everything. Not the best quarterback. It would have to be Dwayne Haskins just for the physicality and everything. But athletically, it has to be Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Jared, on that. I think athletically it's definitely Kyler Murray. But if I had to pick a quarterback, it's definitely Dwayne Haskins. Dom?
Now, I will say I'm a little biased because I am an Ohio State fan, but I've seen Dwayne Haskins and I've seen his improvement on the deep ball, the intermediate. There's a lot of things that he does well. He makes checks at the line of scrimmage to get the offensive line in place. He moves in the pocket. Obviously, he has a great arm. And you look at how he does in the first half of games, I believe it was something when they were playing top 10 defenses, 12 touchdowns. The second half, 14 touchdowns. So as the game progresses, he gets better. He's good at reading defenses, and I think the advantage is he's only played 1 year. So there's a lot to grow. Kyler Murray's an excellent quarterback. He can do a lot of things, but I think overall, if I want somebody that could fit into any system, it will be Dwayne Haskins.
And Tyler, before we move on, give me your thoughts.
I believe best NFL-ready quarterback right now has to be Haskins. For the future, I'm a big Daniel Jones guy. I mean, I just think he's got the potential to become at least at the lowest an Eli Manning, at the most a Peyton Manning.
So 2 rings?
Oh, wow.
We're saying 2 rings?
So we're saying 2 rings.
Well, it's 2 rings either way.
It's
actually.
2 either way.
I think he's just got. If you watch this guy's tape, his footwork is crazy in the pocket. He can actually run the ball too. People sleep on that. So inside the pocket, and he keeps his eyes down the field, moving out. So
are you saying that Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in this draft? Yes or no?
Right now, no. In the future, yes.
So he's a developmental guy.
The whole thing with best quarterback, Kyler Murray, the whole thing, when have we seen his style, work lately in the NFL? We saw Lamar Jackson, but he really only did it from the running side. We saw Robert Griffin, he didn't really last long. I mean, the whole running style hasn't really worked since, I would say, Michael Vick, and he's a cheat code. So I just want to see he become more of a pocket passer and, develop into, I would say, how Baker Mayfield played last year.
The one big thing I have against Kyler Murray, 0 snaps under center well in college.
And that's a big transition for a lot of these quarterbacks.
Yeah,
it's Baker Mayfield too. That's a big transition for a lot of these quarterbacks.
That's 1 year you see Kyler Murray.
Right, it's 1 year. You're right, but it's just that transition. Go ahead, Dom.
I personally don't think that's a huge deal. You get a lot of repetition as it comes along. To your point, Baker Mayfield had to learn to throw the ball, to stand in the pocket, to make throws, to make reads. I think, I'll be interested to see if Kyler Murray, at Oklahoma, you could say the same thing in a sense about all college offenses, but that offense it's pre-designed. He didn't have to make a lot of pre-snap reads. Not to say he didn't have to do a lot of things, but I think can you go in an NFL defense that's much more complicated, much more, in the way of slants on defense, different reads, different people dropping back. You have defensive ends, who can run 4-4. Heck, Montez Sweat ran a 4-4-1.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like Devin Bush and Devin White, both 4-4-1, 4-4-2. So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts, in big
and we saw Murray play against probably the best defense in college, being Alabama, and he didn't really come online, I would say, till late in the third quarter, the fourth quarter mainly. So that's something,
He also played in the worst defensive conference in college football, in the Big 12.
That is another fact. American plays better defense.
All right, so before we move on to the next question, I just want to mention how Troy's wearing a Patriots jersey, and he's got a Buffalo Bills jacket there. What are we trying to aim for here tonight?
I'm just
and he's got a Jets hat and a Miami Dolphins. Okay, I like it.
So he has the whole division.
The whole division.
You got the whole. So you're rooting for the whole AFC
I'm
East.
just
Is that what
representing
we're
for the whole
doing here?
AFC East, yeah.
Okay.
So just the
All right,
Patriots, in other words.
The Patriots, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills, yeah.
Okay.
When was the last time those other three were relevant?
It doesn't matter, man. We're here for the draft show. Let's talk about it.
Awesome. All right, let's move on. Drafts are important in building your team's foundation for years to come. This year, however, there are multiple teams that have to do well, or it could potentially set their franchise back for the next 10 years. Fellas, which teams do you believe that is? And let's go ahead and we'll start with Tyler this time.
It's got to be the Oakland Raiders this year.
Yeah.
3 first-round picks after the terrible first year with John Gruden. They've got him for 10 years, so hopefully these first three first-round picks will be the stepping stone to the future.
And especially which those players they traded for. Khalil Mack, they traded to the Bears, and they end up getting, the 24th overall pick?
Yep.
That's not enough. Okay, I know they're getting a first-round pick next year. You don't trade a generational-type player like that for the 24th overall pick. It just doesn't happen. And then you did trade Amari Cooper, which kind of ended up working out because they traded for Antonio Brown for basically a bag of chocolate chip cookies, okay?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper was not really fitting in their system.
He wasn't
as
fitting
well.
in their system anyway. So let's go with Dom next. Which team do you see?
Arizona, to be honest with
Arizona.
you.
Okay.
Well, because here's the thing. Arizona, they need a pass rush. I don't care if it's Quinn Williams, if it's Nick Bosa, if it's Josh Allen, if it's Ed Oliver, they need somebody who can rush the passer, who can generate pressure. They have a quarterback in Josh Rosen. 1 year, Josh Rosen is a good quarterback that just needs development. I think you can really set yourself up and do some good things if you take a position of need. Kyler Murray is a want, not a need. So if he comes in and he has a year like Josh Rosen, then we'll be sitting here next year talking about who they're going to take number 1 in the draft.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Jared, what do you think? Give me your thoughts on the team.
I want to see what the Bears are going to do just in the whole draft. You know, you've seen it looks like they're going to stick with Tariq Cohen as their now new number 1 back. We saw how they played. They need a kicker desperately later in the draft. Obviously, it's not going to come in the first round because realistically, they were a great defensive team. I just felt like they were missing offensive weapons. I want to see what they can do to maybe build, maybe get, Ridley, Metcalf, just something to build for their offensive side of the ball because defensively, they're a championship caliber team.
Yeah. Troy, which
for
team?
a quick answer, I'm going to go with the Giants.
Yeah.
Will
Okay,
they go
like
with
that.
the quarterback? We still got Eli there. I mean, most of us believe he has a foot out of the door. So we're paying attention to that, and would they go? Are they going to build for the future?
Yeah,
so that's what I'm focused on.
I'm actually surprised that the Giants was the last answer here because I think the Giants are one of the most important teams in
They
this year's
are
NFL
one of the
draft.
important-
Because
exactly.
here's the thing: you trade OBJ to the Browns for a first and a third round pick, so you basically give up on that after you sign him to a 5-year deal. Now, in hindsight, was that a smart move for them to make that trade? Yes. Do I think they could have gotten a lot more from him? Yes, I do.
Why do you say it's a smart? It was a smart
because
move.
here's the thing: are they going to ever win with OBJ? And that's
they
the thing.
could have
They
got
have
a quarterback.
You have to have a quarterback though, and they don't have a
I think the problem
quarterback
is more
right
of
now.
Eli than
Right.
OBJ.
You're right.
So-
There's more problem.
Odell had the best passer rating on the Giants
Right,
last
exactly.
year.
He did. He was the best quarterback for the Giants.
He was
last
the
year.
one
With
Think
the
about that
Giants,
for a
the
second.
problem with the Giants is the management. I mean,
Management.
just think of some of the things they've done and how they have digressed from the Super Bowl. Just look at the team. I hate to pick on people. Eric Flowers, a perfect
Jesus.
example.
Honestly, I think that's low hanging
was
fruit. I
awful.
think that's too much of an easy way out. The Eric Flowers.
Oh, I have
being an
more,
issue.
but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Go,
Okay,
give
give
me
me some more.
Give me some more.
so realistically speaking, Saquon's a great pick.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think they could have done a better job of building that defense. You just think of what the Giants' defense has been.
Got him in the Super Bowls.
They're all gone now, though.
A great pass rush, strong linebacking core, physical in the secondary. Landon Collins,
Gone.
is gone.
He's gone.
Got a big check. With the Redskins, and I just think it's from the management. An interesting point. OBJ was conversing with somebody back and forth on Twitter. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And he alluded to the management and how he felt that they done him wrong. I personally don't think they have a clue of what they're doing. And so,
I think the Giants need to
and I
take a
think-
young quarterback to sit behind Eli for 1 or 2 years, and then they'll be fine.
And I think it starts with the quarterback. I mean, when you got a quarterback who's at the end of his prime, 1 foot out of the door, that can change around the whole situation, So that's why I think they should.
If they don't take a quarterback, who do you think they should take?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I
Pass
say
rushers.
I say you have to go with the pass rush because
they
the
gotta get
defensive
that-
line
I
this
would
year
say
is just
like
amazing.
They built
like
their
a
Super Bowls
Bosa
off
type player,
defensive
someone
lines.
who's gonna immediate impact. Because the whole thing with the Giants
So
is
Bosa's going to be gone by then, though.
well, obviously, but I'm saying it wouldn't even be bad for them to trade up this year. I don't think the Giants are a team that every year you're like, oh, they have the potential to be good, but what happens every year? Last year they had 2 players on offense in Saquon and Beckham. No one else on that team produced. Eli has led the league in interceptions since 2010. I mean, at what point do you say, okay, you know what, he won us 2 Super Bowls, but it's time to move on?
Yeah.
I think that's the issue. The Giants are just stuck in this little hangover of Eli can't get back to that potential, which I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I think he's done. I think he's past his prime.
I think they should have pulled the plug last year and drafted
I honestly
someone.
believe so too.
I think Josh Allen would make a nice pickup. Honestly, I think you have to go, if you don't go pass rusher, if you don't go quarterback, you got to get an offensive tackle. Because they've had offensive line issues. They need somebody to because here's the thing.
Didn't they have Bobby Hart quit on their team?
Pretty much.
Like, they're having all sorts of issues.
I mean, you need someone to, just think of it from this standpoint. Saquon, you look at Ezekiel Elliott, the success he's having. When is he getting hit? The second and the third level. He's not, taking. Yeah, obviously, he initiates contact. Yeah. Saquon, from a run blocking, standpoint, you can, add some layers, add some years to him because he can do so many things, out the backfield catching. But also, Eli was getting killed back there. Granted, Father Time has really, made his mark, but he was getting some hits. So it's like, okay, if you bring a quarterback in, they're just going to get smashed too, just the entire time. So
Eli's just a punching bag at this point?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I
yeah.
mean, I don't think
him.
people realize just how important the offensive line is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I just don't think people realize that.
It showed with Zeke his rookie season.
Yeah.
It showed with the Cowboys their rookie season. Dak and Zeke had some of the best rookie years in NFL history, and what happened the next year when they lost 2 offensive linemen?
DeMarco Murray loved that offensive line too.
I tell you what, I'm a Colts fan,
and now where's
Quinn Nelson made the difference this season.
Oh, yeah.
Just at the guard position, anchoring that entire offensive line. So, it's very important.
Look at like Andrew Luck. He was out all of last year, then he comes back and he looks just like Andrew Luck again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Colts are another team that, because they were looking, they were talks, like Bell said he wanted to go play there. The Colts are a team that, they're 1 or 2 players away from, doing something.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Obviously, we all have rooting interests. As you can see, myself and Jaret are Eagles fans. Fly, Eagles, fly. So I want to go around and see what you want your team to do tonight. Jaret, we'll start with you.
I already said it. I wasn't happy. I was okay with trading out of the first round last year, but this year we got to make a move. We need help in the secondary. I can play better defense than Mills or Darby. I'm getting sick of it.
I can't confirm you can.
We let Jordan Hicks walk in the linebacker. Our back 7 needs help. Eliminate the D-line. Everything else needs help. Our D-line is perfectly fine. Linebackers, DBs, we need a lot of help.
Yeah, I agree with Jaret. Troy, give me your
All
answer.
right, so for my Patriots, we're going to build with a receiver. We need another receiver, another deep threat for Josh Gordon. For the Dolphins, we need a quarterback. We're struggling in that part, obviously, with Tannehill being missing. And for the Jets, let's go with some defense. I think defense would be another better move. And for the Bills, let's go defense. Another defender.
Get Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
So for the NFC East, I'm sorry, AFC East.
All right, so let me ask you a question. For the Jets, do you think the Jets should trade down from 3? Or do you think they should keep staying?
I think they should keep it.
They should keep it? Okay. Go ahead, Dom.
I think Indianapolis, they need a pass rush. They were terrible in rushing the passer. Obviously, the bevy of talent in the pass rush will be gone. There could be guys like Montez Sweat there. Obviously, he has that heart issue, so if they want to take a chance, you have a guy coming off the edge that runs a 4.41. And then we need some help in the back end. I think some speed in the secondary to be able to, really need a lockdown corner. We haven't had a lockdown defense since, the days of Kelvin Hayden. That was 2006 or whatever. So, really Bob Sanders, who kept getting hurt. God bless him. But need somebody to solidify the defense and, bring in another offensive tackle or somebody to help spread the field, even though they have Deion Kane coming back. So I think we really need to shore up the defense, specifically the pass rush,
Okay, Tyler, quick answer before we move on.
3 things for the Seahawks. Trade back, defensive line, offensive line. Protect Russell Wilson. You just paid him a bunch of money. Replace Frank Clark. You just traded him. If you want to make a splash, go ahead, pick a big name at wide receiver for Russell. But I'd say main 2 things, offensive line, defensive line.
Your Seahawks have 2 first-round picks tonight.
Trade one of them, please. Get a second-round pick.
Trade them both. Get out.
Oh, man. All right, so with the first pick coming around, there's been talk about the Cardinals taking Kyler Murray with the number 1 overall pick over guys like Nick Bosa, Quentin Williams, and Josh Allen, just to name a few. Gentlemen, if the Cardinals go this route, are they making the right decision? And let's go ahead and start with Troy this time.
All right, so Kyler Murray is an exceptional talent, right? And you get one of these quarterbacks every year. And I wouldn't say it's a bad move. They just picked up a quarterback last season. But like I said, he's an exceptional talent, and if you want to take a shot on that, why not? So that's my take on it.
Okay.
We've talked Kyler Murray. I'm not a fan of Josh Rosen, so I would be okay with them drafting a quarterback. I really don't think Josh Rosen is an NFL ready. It showed last year when he just got thrown into the role. I kind of did feel bad for him because he got thrown into a terrible situation, and he looked even worse than he really is. And he was getting hurt, beat up. I mean, the Cardinals weren't doing anything. They weren't blocking for anyone. They weren't playing defense. They were just setting him up for disaster. Every single time he's got to go 90 yards to score a touchdown. It's a lot of pressure for him. If they go Kyler, it's kind of wrong on Josh Rosen's part for not giving him, like, the chance that, I mean, not that he deserves, but he has the potential to be good. But realistically, I think Kyler's just better overall, so I could be fine with that move.
Okay, Dom.
They brought in Cliff Kingsbury to help out Josh Rosen and to develop him. And so it's one of those things where he could just say, you know what, I want my guy. I want to start fresh. I personally think they need to go on the defensive side of the ball because they couldn't block anybody, but they couldn't stop anybody either. And I think what helps out a good offense is a even better defense. You saw that, with the Legion of Boom those years with the Seahawks. They didn't run the ball, but that's another story for another day. But I personally, I won't say it would kill them, but I would go defense.
Tyler?
For me, you can't blame the Cardinals for wanting to take Kyler Murray. I mean, they've been watching Russell Wilson play for so long. They want that copycat. I personally think Quinnen Williams is the best player in this draft. I would go with him if I had the number 1 pick. A lot of questions right now for the Cardinals with Kingsbury, but I think it's the wrong move.
Yeah, honestly, I think they should give Josh Rosen a chance. I mean, it's only been 1 year. I think they should go with Nick Bosa. I don't even think it's close. I think they're going to be making a mistake. I mean, I like Kyler Murray, but I just think that you need to give Josh Rosen a chance.
But I think they'll put Josh Rosen in a better position, too. If they do draft Kyler Murray, I think they'll put him in a different position, like in Miami or somewhere where they need a quarterback. So I don't think he's going to be.
Talks about the Giants trading.
The Giants. I don't think he's going to be left out to dry. Like, I think he'll be in a position to succeed, possibly.
Debatable. I don't know if they're just going to let him go. He was their 9th pick or whatever last year.
I think they will.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's send things over to Armond and Jeremy at the desk to go over more about the pick. Armond, what do you got for us?
Well, it looks like we're about to see if Kyler Murray's about to be picked up by the Arizona Cardinals. We're about to announce this pick. I'll also talk about my 49ers. But, Jeremy, where's Kyler going?
Dude, honestly, your guess is as good as mine at this point. I mean, for months and months, is Kyler going to Arizona? Josh Rosen is in the mix. It's been a lot of, it's a lot of uncertainty. And honestly, like, what more can you ask for on draft night? It's just fantastic. I love it. I love the uncertainty. I love the reality TV, the drama. I said this last year on the show. Give me drama. And right now, honestly, it's like nothing's happened. But I feel the intensity, man. Like honestly, I think that if Kyler doesn't go to Arizona, that's what's gonna, set this draft on fire. Because it's gonna change around a lot of things. I'll tell you this. If Kyler does not go number 1, don't expect San Francisco to keep that pick.
Bruce post-announced it.
I think there's a good chance that if Kyler is not the pick, then possibly, Oakland trades up or Washington trades up or someone is going to find a way to move into Kyler Murray. Because I think that a lot of teams think that Kyler Murray is going to be the number 1 pick. And if for whatever reason, like a last-minute snag, it's not Kyler, then that changes a lot of teams' boards. The Giants picking at 6, they're like, oh, well, Kyler we didn't think was going to happen, but hey, now we got a shot at him. Maybe we should trade up. San Francisco, like, give me a ring. San Francisco, I want to say it was 2 years ago in the Trubisky draft, they had the number 2 pick. They traded back to number 3 to get Solomon Thomas.
Yeah. Actually, matter of fact, speaking of Solomon Thomas, I heard they might trade him away.
Yeah, because look,
there's a rumor.
There's so many
going on.
You're gonna get a guy in this draft. If you're at number 2 at San Francisco, they have a chance to get either Quinnen Williams or Nick Bosa, whoever it's gonna be.
Well,
I'm just really excited. Oh my goodness,
the pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going on over here. The pick is in.
Who do you think it's gonna be, Armond?
Oh boy, I mean,
you think it's gonna be Tyler?
I'm hoping it is, but like. You never know. It's draft night, you live for drama.
I mean, honestly, like, if it isn't Kyler, though, who do you think it's going to be?
I like Quinnen Williams.
Yeah. I think Quinnen Williams might be actually the best player in this draft.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler on that one. Yep.
Honestly, I think that the Cardinals, whether they go Kyler, whether they go Quinnen, whether they go Nick Bosa, I think they have a chance to get a player that they can keep for the next, 8 to 10 years. So I feel like the Cardinals can't really go wrong with this pick. If they do decide to go with Kyler, though, obviously that means Rosen's going to go somewhere else, and that's going to create another domino. This is kind of where this is going to set the tone for the rest of the night. Is Kyler Murray going to go where everyone's mocked him, or is it going to, turn everything to dust?
The thing people worry about is like his size. He's 5'10" and 1/8, 207 pounds. They say, a little bit much like a Russell Wilson.
A little bit, yeah.
We'll see how he plays into the new NFL level.
I'm excited to see.
Yep.
All right.
So Kyler Murray. I mean, I bet he's jittery right now. He's nervous. I know he's nervous. It's draft night. He might go number 1, but we'll see.
All right, let's see what it is.
The pick is in.
And the pick is
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. Well, there you go.
Kyler Murray, there it is.
Yeah. Kyler Murray's number 1 pick.
Kyler Murray is selected by the Arizona Cardinals. Here's a preview of his talent going to NFL level. I'm your host, Armond Sarduy, and I'll be breaking a few plays from Kyler Murray. Let's take a look. Right here, great stature, eyes down the field, 3 wide receiver set. Look at that arm, ladies and gentlemen. That's NFL money-making arm right there to Marquise Brown. Next play. Right here, stop right here. See that? He reads the eyes of the defense and roll it. And speed and quickness. Speed and quickness is the money-maker right there. And it's off the races right here. No one can catch him. Next play. Right here against Kansas, same thing. Speed, quickness, reads the eyes of the defense. One move and that's it. End zone, baby. Look at that. Next play. Right here. Stop right here. Look at that. Same thing. Reads the eyes of the defense, looks downfield, sees one defender, boom, turns the corner. One man to beat, off the races again. Look at that. Next play, right here. Even though Kyler Murray is known for his speed and quickness, this man has a baseball-level arm right here. Look at this play. On the dime. Right there. Boom. Touchdown. Oklahoma wins the game. If you didn't catch that. But even though Kyler Murray is known for his speed and quickness, this man has an arm, and I think he's NFL-level talent. Even though he's undersized, the man can flat out play. Back to you guys. So, Kyler Murray, Jeremy, what do you think? How does he fit into the Arizona Cardinals?
Give me a quick breakdown. I think a big reason why the team made such a huge transition, they hired Steve Wilks after Bruce Arians walked away, and they were so quick to get rid of the Wilks regime. And they brought in Cliff Kingsbury, someone who is very familiar with an air raid offense. He coached Pat Mahomes to be the kind of guy that he wants. And I'm not saying Pat Mahomes is Kyler Murray, and I don't think that Kyler Murray's ceiling is as high as Pat Mahomes is, but I think that there are some similarities there, and there are some skills that Mahomes showed in college that Murray can show in the NFL, if that makes any sense. So they made such a bold move, wiping away their whole all their work, getting the rookie quarterback with Josh Rosen, giving rookie head coach Steve Wilks. They decided, you know what, we're going to scratch all that. We're going to go with what we feel is a better bet. And they think that Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray is the best bet. You know what, maybe it's, for all we know, this could be a bust. Right. Kyler could very well be a bust. He is 5'9". That is a bit of a concern with offensive linemen so high. But, I honestly think that, hey, risk it for the biscuit.
Right. All right, so now we're talking about my team, the San Francisco 49ers. Jeremy, we have a lot of, defensive building to do. And I feel like we have black holes in a couple of spots. I know that if we get Nick Bosa, we fill that in with D Ford. We got D Ford and we got Quan Alexander. But I'm just worried about us trading away Solomon Thomas because I feel that he's playing out of position a little bit. So how do you think Nick Bosa falls into the 49ers defense?
Nick Bosa is the best edge rusher in the draft. He's a plug-and-play kind of guy. You can, play him day one, and he will be a stud for the Niners or for whoever he's going to be with, whether he ends up with San Francisco, New York, Oakland, wherever he ends up in this draft. But personally, I think that the best defensive player in this draft is Quinnen Williams. I just think that Quinnen Williams is the safest bet. That if that makes any sense. I would say like Quentin Nelson last year was the safest bet in the top 10 because, he was just a good football player. He's a big football guy. He's all about football. That's all he lives, breathes football. And I think Quinnen Williams is built very similarly to that. And, he's just a guy that he's just a big dude. And he loves football. He's very physical. And I think you need a guy like it. I don't want to say Aaron Donald because Aaron Donald is the upper echelon. But he can get to be like a poor man's Aaron Donald, I feel. And honestly, with what Aaron Donald did last year, that's the kind of guy that I want in my defense, especially when you're in the NFC West.
Well, I have to stop you here because, the pick is in for the 49ers. So if it's not Quinnen Williams, who else? And Nick Bosa. And Quinnen Williams and Nick Bosa, who else?
I mean, Josh Allen's probably there, but
I like him too.
Yeah, but I think that Josh Allen is not on the same level as Bosa and Williams. I think, honestly, to me, it's like a 1A, 1B kind of situation with Bosa and Williams being 1A, Bosa being 1B. But like the last pick with Arizona, it was a home run regardless of who they were picking, and the Niners here are in the same boat. And because of the Niners' circumstances with Garoppolo and everything like that, the Niners can contend next year. That's something that a lot of teams, can't say that are picking second overall, but they can contend next year because of how their team is built. And they're going to add a guy that can, be a potential Pro Bowler immediately in the NFL. So, you know what, Armond, I think you should be happy regardless of who this pick is going to be.
We have a lot of potential. We just need to go out there, find the pieces that we need. I'm looking for a lot of big energy guys, ones that can make changes right away to our defense. We have a bunch of young guys, experience. But I think we have a chance to, make a change in the NFC West division. Of course, you had the LA Rams that went to the Super Bowl, and we have, the Seahawks, of course. And the Cardinals, they're kind of coming up, but actually they're going through, some type of like quarterback battle with, Kyler Murray and Josh Rosen. But we're showing that. Oh, wait a minute, Nick Bosa is selected by the 49ers. Nick Bosa. So Nick Bosa, what does Nick Bosa bring to the table?
He brings just pure physicality. He's pure physicality. And honestly, great pick, Armond. You know what? I'm going to put this on right now because Nick Bosa and the 49ers, y'all just made a really, really good pick. So, yeah, I know I'm a Texans guy, but I got to wear the bucket hat for my guy Armond right here, yeah.
Yeah, you do it for the Bay. But I'm just so proud we made this pick because we need to build on defense a lot. So after this commercial break, we send it to Jaret for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th picks and at the desk for an analysis for HTF vet Charlie Reyes. You won't want to miss this.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans?
By sports fans. I read it every morning so I can be in the know.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though, I want them to see the hole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more. He's out. The takes are fresh.
By sports reporters. And Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog for all your sports stuff. Hitting.
Field.
Go!
Hi, I'm Dave Jeffrey, attorney at law. Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Davey would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Derp-de-derp.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week. So you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball.
Yeah. God, yeah. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball.
Good morning, fellas, except for Andre.
KG in the building.
James Harden is a stat man.
That is not, you're right.
He's the best scorer.
He has 120 straight points now. Bro, 120 straight points now. He doesn't pass.
All right, let's do this. Let's get down to business, guys.
He's like Russell. You still got Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, and them boys. Come on now. What about Carl?
Tom Brady is the son.
Facts.
I think it's kind of special, though.
What?
What are you talking about, man? Crazy, man. Don't ever say that. This is your dad. What are you talking about?
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys.
mad.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been in the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been in the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
All right, welcome back to the Draft Show. Joining me at the desk is my guy, Charlie Reyes, making his first appearance on the show tonight. Charlie, how's it going, my man?
I'm excited, man.
All right, we're only 2 picks in, and a lot has happened already. The Cardinals selected Kyler Murray with the first overall pick, and the 49ers went ahead and took Nick Bosa. Excuse me. Charlie, what do you think of those picks so far?
I think Cardinals are terrible. Why would you pick Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray has no business going number 1. You should have easily put Quentin Williams for a number 1 pick, but you know what? I'm not a GM.
All right, so what do you think about Quinn Williams? I mean, everybody's high on him out here. We think
like
he should
Quinn
be the best player
I
in the
think
draft.
he's going to be taking the next pick, number 3 by the Jets.
Yeah.
I think he would definitely be a help because he comes from Bama. He has Bama plays a lot of big games. He knows how to be in big games. Maybe the Jets might not be in a lot of big games upcoming next season, but I think he'll definitely be a good addition to the team for sure.
I think Quinn Williams is the next Aaron Donald from the Rams.
I think he's
really good.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He gets a lot of tackles, over 45 solo tackles last season. So you know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a good year for him.
All right, so before we send things over back to Jaret to go over the 3rd pick, what is something that you're looking forward to seeing in tonight for your squad?
For my squad?
Yeah.
For the Packers?
Yeah.
Oh, man, the Packers need some help. We definitely need a running back. Somebody like Devin Singletary. He'll definitely be some help. He might get picked in the 2nd round. But I think the Packers got the 30th pick?
They're in the top 15, and they also have the 30th overall pick.
So they just said the pick is in. Let's see who it is.
All right, so let's go ahead and send things over back to Jaret that's set to go over the next several picks. Jaret, what do you got?
Thank you, Ant. Now you can see I am now in the host seat, and I am now joined by Jeremy and Armond from the other set. and we got Dom still, and Colin, who's making his Hitting the Field debut. Colin, how are you doing?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
All right, that's what I love to hear. I'm glad everyone could join me for this. I know we're only 2 picks into the draft, guys, but what's our biggest surprise so far? Anything, Jeremy?
I mean, it's been pretty chalky. I mean, I don't like. I think Murray was a good pick. I think Bosa was a better pick. I'll say that.
Okay.
I don't think Kyler Murray was a great pick, but I think it was a good pick for what the Cardinals need right now. And I think that Bosa was the best edge rusher in the draft. And I think if the Jets go Quinn Williams here, it's another home run. I think I can go A+, A+.
Armand, how do you like your 49ers pick?
I love it. It's something we needed to complement D Ford that we just received from in the offseason. And also, too, it helps put Solomon Thomas in the position that he has to play. I feel like he played out of position so far. It's just something good, something great, something good for our defense.
Maybe Bosa can teach D4 to think about lining up on sides. Dom, any surprises so far?
You know, I don't want to say surprises. It's kind of been predictable so far. I really am curious to see where Josh Rosen ends up because of this Kyler Murray draft. Nick Bosa makes sense. I like that, actually. You mentioned Aaron Donald. I don't think he's going to be like Aaron Donald. I think he's going to be like Nick Bosa. And I think he's going to do his own little thing.
Well, I think Aaron Donald could be like Quentin Williams, who could go here number 3 with the Jets.
Yep.
Well, we're about to find out. Roger Goodell is actually walking up right now.
Dom, anything you want to say real quick before we get this pick in?
Nope.
Nothing?
Not surprised. Not surprised. I'm actually curious about this because
I want to see what the Jets do. You know, you got Darnold and Bell now. I'm really interested to see who they pick. Goodell's going to go ahead and make the pick, and it is going to be Quentin Williams from Alabama.
Okay,
let's go ahead and let's show his highlights. Pick for Alabama, out of Alabama. What are you expecting to see him do in the NFL?
You know, big things, truly. I think that he's going to need some time. I think maybe a year under his belt to kind of get used to the NFL, just that transition in general. But I think he's going to be a big player for the Jets. I think he's definitely going to help them get past that. I don't know. I think it'll be good help.
Dom?
The most annoying thing for an offensive lineman is a fast twitch defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Quentin Williams gets off the ball fast. He uses his hands. He uses his leverage. He has a great burst off the line, that mix of power and speed. I think he can come in right away. I don't know if he's going to, have those Aaron Donald. I know those are some lofty.
That's a tough comparison considering Donald might be the best player of the generation.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Donald trains with knives, so, we need to stay away from that. That's true. So, but no, I do think Quentin Williams is going to come in. I think he's going to make an impact, and I think he's going to free up those pass rushers because he's the kind of guy that commands a double team, and he can get you those one-on-one matchups on the outside.
Now, I'm being told that the Jets were trying to trade out of this pick. Jeremy, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think because there are a lot now. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to be interested in getting guys like Dwayne Haskins, maybe trade up for Josh Allen. I know, we'd love to see the Bills get another Josh Allen, but I think that a trade is coming soon. I feel like Oakland's on the clock now. They have a lot of capital. They might want to improve on that. It's Mike Mayock's first draft as the GM of the Raiders, so there could be a trade here and there. But I really like this Quentin Williams pick. It's easy to compare these early draft guys because they're at the top of their game in this draft to the top guys in the NFL. So a guy like Aaron Donald makes Quentin Williams is the top DT in this draft. Aaron Donald's the top DT in the league. Not going to say that Quentin Williams is going to be Aaron Donald, but
he has the potential.
He has the potential, and that's what's so exciting about the draft is that all you know about these guys is potential, and it's just a bunch of guys that Kyler Murray could be the next Pat Mahomes, but not going to be the next Pat Mahomes. But just the thought of that, the hope of a potential new player for your team. That's what's exciting about the draft, and I think it's been real exciting so far.
I would agree.
I love the draft. That's why I love the draft.
It seemed like the most reasonable pick. We could agree.
I mean, everybody saw this coming. I know the Jets, wanted Quentin Williams since the beginning. He's a big energy guy. He was very productive in his last season at Alabama. He loves football. He lives, breathes football, and you got to have guys on your team that's be able to do that. Get how to love football.
So I like what we have to say about Quentin Williams, but I want to go ahead and jump into the Raiders, who are now on the clock. Dom, we've already heard it. Antonio Brown, he let it all out in Pittsburgh when he got traded.
He's still doing it.
What are we looking for the Raiders to do? They got rid of Khalil Mack, got rid of Amari Cooper. They have a lot to play with this year. What should we expect?
Honest to God's truth, I don't know. And I say that respectfully because who can put their heads in the mind of Josh? because you trade Khalil Mack, you don't get the sacks, but then you go and complain about lack of a pass rush.
Right.
Well,
you shot yourself in the foot.
The sensible thing is, to me, Josh Allen. Having said that, there have been talks about Dwayne Haskins going forth, because I personally do not see Derek Carr in a Raiders uniform past this year. So
I like that statement.
Okay, that's a hot take.
That's one hot take. The second hot
like
take.
that seems like Brown's guy.
Yeah.
Colin, what do you have to say about that?
I like the take, to be honest. I mean, didn't Jay Gruden fire his scouts 2 days before and have closed doors? So I wouldn't be surprised about Derek Carr being traded somewhere else too, just to make sure it's low key, no one knows, and it's gonna get leaked or anything. I think with the Raiders in this draft, I'm not really curious as to who they draft, but more the fact the business and what they do, because they have so many picks, and I think they're going to use that to their advantage and try and, I don't know, I'm curious to see what they do. They're definitely the more wild card of the group.
I think if the Raiders truly wanted a quarterback with this first pick, they would have traded up to get Kyler Murray.
That's what I thought too.
My thing is,
that's why I think
Derek Carr is a broken fibula back from being a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah,
correct, sir.
I don't know about that one.
I mean, he was before
he
he
had a
broke
really
his foot.
good year.
Before he broke his foot, he was a really good year.
Really good.
I think that would be his last good year.
So you think, regardless of if he got hurt or not, he was still going to fall off?
I mean,
that's football. That's sports. We don't.
I know, but the thing is that he's good and bad. He shows spurts. But I won't be. It's the Raiders, and you don't know what they're going to do. It's the Raiders.
The Raiders have the most potential to win this draft because they have so many picks. They got 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And they have the chance to not necessarily, replace their mistakes, but Josh Allen makes a lot of sense. They were talking about lack of a pass rusher. They traded away one of the best pass rushers in the game, and Josh Allen right there at 4 makes a lot of sense for them. And then I think maybe later in the round you go and you get a guy like A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Hollywood Brown, one of those receivers. But Derek Carr's my guy. Derek Carr went to my high school, Clements High School, Sugar Land, Texas, so look that up. The last time we went to the playoffs, 2006, who was the quarterback? Derek Carr. So, and Derek Carr, I spoke to him at the Pro Bowl a couple years ago, the nicest guy. He really is.
He seems like a humble guy.
But that's a good football.
That's what a leader is. That's what a leader is.
That's nice, but production.
So,
and listen, I like Derek Carr, too.
You mentioned production. I want to talk about the 2 players they traded away, Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack actually both saw immediate impact. Khalil Mack got a touchdown, a strip sack, and a forced fumble. I mean, only player in NFL history to do that, and he's done it twice. And Amari Cooper immediately became the Cowboys' best wide receiver. What's going on in that front office?
I told you, they don't know what they're doing.
I think they're taking a step back. They're hitting the reset button, though, with Mike Mayock. They did that, and this is Mike Mayock's chance to prove himself, show that he's not like one of those, NFL GMs, one of those outsiders that doesn't know what he's talking about. This is his chance to, shut up the haters a little bit.
Okay, but prove yourself by trading away Khalil Mack
and Amari Cooper.
But Mike Mayock didn't do
players
that.
have
Mike
to have
Mayock
a
didn't do
meeting
that
because they were so upset about Khalil Mack being traded.
Yeah,
they had a meeting Sunday night after the game.
Mike Mayock is given this chance to clean up the mess. Mike Mayock has the chance. He literally cannot do any wrong because the previous, regime, the Reggie McKenzie regime and all that, they did all that. They created that mess. So they didn't pay Khalil Mack. They should have. They didn't pay Amari Cooper. They should have. And now Mike Mayock gets this chance with this very first pick, and now he gets to start fresh.
So he's cleaning up a mess. So he made a mess, so he can clean up a mess. Is what you're saying?
But Mike Mayock was hired after all this happened.
Okay.
I think they need to keep the team in Oakland too. I think that's a whole nother aspect.
Let's talk about it.
Don't bring that team to Vegas.
Armand, you want to talk about it? What do you think? They're moving. I would say the most loyal fan base moving to Vegas.
The black hole. Yeah.
It's like, okay, so who wants to go to Vegas, to watch a football game?
I don't. I want to go to Vegas to gamble.
Exactly. You go to Vegas to gamble. This is off topic. You go to Vegas to gamble. You don't go anywhere. Go to the Strip. You know what I'm saying? You go to the. You go in MGM. You go to what's the Bellagio, right? You're not going to Vegas to watch some football,
What I will say, though, about the Raiders are one of the most recognizable fan bases, one of the most recognizable brands in the NFL. And that's one of the teams that can succeed in Vegas because everywhere around the country will travel to Vegas for Raiders games. You can make a weekend out of it. Oh, hey, I'm going to go to Vegas for the weekend, and at the end of the weekend, I'll catch a Raiders game.
No,
and
that's not
I'll
happening.
come all over the country.
No. If you make a weekend out of it, I promise you won't make it to a Raiders game.
I know you're big on social media and marketing and that stuff. Is it good for the Raiders to be moving, you think?
I personally, I don't want them to leave. I just don't think that's smart for the organization. I think they will because of just the market in Las Vegas, and just there's so much happening there.
They don't have the support from the city of Oakland, though. That's the one thing.
I would agree. I think they still need their team.
Ooh.
And actually, we have our first surprise of the
Wow.
draft. We've gone with Cleveland
Cleveland
Farrell out of Clemson.
I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
Wow.
Raiders doing Raider things, right?
That's
Listen, Cleveland Farrell is a talented.
He is really
He
good.
is a
He's good.
talented defensive end, and I thought he was going to go top 10
I'm kind of
over Josh Allen, over Ed Oliver.
This is where Denzel Ward was picked last year, number 4.
Oh, that's-
Denzel Ward
That's
turned into
true.
a really good pick,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah,
also
yeah.
a surprise. So yeah,
Zeke was taken 4th.
yeah.
But
Well, that
those
wasn't
two
a
are
surprise.
different. Now, the Browns needed everybody, so
that's true.
you know. But wow, that surprised me. It's not a bad pick,
It's
but
not bad
no.
at all, but they clearly see something in him that
we
they
don't.
did not see in Josh Allen.
So far, this has been the most surprising pick.
Yes, of
I
course.
want to say this. I love Cleveland Farrell. Watching him play. Here's what I want to see. Cleveland Farrell played on a Clemson team that their entire defensive line might be taken in the first round.
Absolutely.
So
And it showed in the national
and it showed in the national championship, even with Dexter Lawrence out. I want to see just his pure natural ability because he had a lot because he had a lot of opportunities, to play one-on-one because Christian Wilkins double team. Well, you can't double team because Dexter Lawrence, and then you had Austin Bryant, and then you had all these guys. So. Yeah, so like I said, they could be taken, I think they're almost all projected in the first round.
They're all going to go.
Yeah, within the first 2 rounds, so.
Armand?
Oh, one thing I'd like to point out, you think this is a replacement for Khalil Mack?
That's what I'm trying to think. Like, essentially, that's
Sort
what it
of.
is.
They're building a new Khalil Mack.
But
essentially.
it depends on the defense. My personal opinion, if you want to replace Khalil Mack, Josh Allen is the kind of guy
He is
because
the guy.
Josh Allen can back in the cover. He can drop back into coverage. He's more versatile. I think Cleveland Farrell's more of your traditional 4-3 defensive end. I don't know if I would stand him up to play.
Jeremy,
Mack
chance to fix it. What's going on?
Mack is more of an outside linebacker.
I would agree.
And he's someone you can, have standing up. And then Cleveland Farrell is much more of a traditional guy. And, I honestly think I don't have a problem with this pick. I really don't. Probably, if I had to grade it, probably a B+. I think that, but the one thing, though, is that the value of this pick. Cleveland Farrell probably would have been there at number 7, number 8. Maybe, if you wanted to trade with the Giants who are drafting number 6, maybe you can swap. Or you can trade with a team like the Lions, someone like that. I mean, I don't know if the Lions want to trade up, but the Bills were talking about trading up. The Redskins talking about potentially trading up. I guess they didn't necessarily find a trade partner that could have taken number 4. It's possible that, the Jets were talking about trading out at number 3. Maybe the Raiders were possibly talking about trading out at number 4, and they just weren't able to do it. So they took the guy that they felt most comfortable with and the guy that they truly wanted all along, which was Cleveland Farrell.
So if they liked this guy all along, why didn't they try to trade back? That's just what I'm trying
I think they may have tried, but maybe they didn't get the right piece or the right trade.
I think what you're trying to say is he still would have been there.
That's what I'm saying. I think he would have been there at 10.
Yeah, I did not
he wouldn't
see.
have been there by the time they picked second tonight.
We don't know that. We
Because they pick in the 20. Cleveland Farrell would have been gone by the 20.
He would have been gone.
But okay, but still, that's not the guy you take at 4. Like I think you try to trade back, especially since you have Washington trying to trade up, and different pieces trying to trade up. I say it's not a bad pick. It's a surprising pick. Cleveland Farrell's a talented player, but I think
it's hard to make a bad pick with the talent this year.
Yes,
think.
I agree. Anyone on that D-line?
This definitely wasn't a bad pick. No, it just wasn't on any mock draft.
I just don't think we expected it so early. Maybe with their
A little
second
bit later.
pick at 20.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just something that Oakland saw, maybe others didn't. I don't know.
Like we were calling, maybe the Raiders saw something in this kid. It's like, this is our guy. We're gonna pick him early.
Or you just know the interview process or something. I don't know. But,
something. We don't know what's going on in the Raiders war room right now because obviously, they're random. You don't know what's gonna happen. John Gruden fought all the scouts. Hey, go home for the weekend. You're done. See you draft night. So this not a bad pick, but it's something that I didn't expect at all.
All right. Well, now that we're on the Raiders, the Bucs are actually on the clock. Dom, who are you looking for? What do they need the most?
Now I think you take Josh Allen, to be honest with you, because, you need a guy, Jason Pierre-Paul, he's getting up there in age. You need a pure pass rusher. Really, the Bucks, the two guys I'm looking at, Devin White Devin White and Josh Allen. Devin White's one of those guys that I feel like can come in and be what Derrick Brooks was when, the Bucks were good, essentially. And we really haven't seen that elite defense. And they just, Quan Alexander is with San Francisco now, so that's a big loss. So I think Devin White, Levante David could be good, but also you can't go wrong with Josh Allen rushing the passer, dropping back in
Colin,
coverage.
would you say that Josh Allen would be a steal at this point, at 5?
Not really a steal because, you expect him to go in the top 5. So I'd say he landed right where he needed to be. I'm curious to see if it is Josh Allen or Devin White, because I do think Devin White. I think they've been set on Devin White for a while. I think they kind of expected him to go drop down to number 5. I'm curious to see what Tampa does. I think they're curious to see what they do too, because of what Oakland just did.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a trade here. Armand, what do you think?
I have to say Josh Allen. If he's not going top 5, he's at least a top 10 player in this draft. I agree with Colin. I want to see what Tampa Bay does. You can't let that player like Josh Allen go. Especially it's still early. Tampa doesn't know what they're doing. They're plotting right now. We don't know what they're doing, but let's see what happens.
Jeremy,
I think at this point in the draft, you take the best player available. Whoever the top guy is on your board, whoever Tampa has,
do you think Josh Allen was even on their board?
To
still be available.
Of course. Of course.
Did he interview with them?
Absolutely.
Yes, he did.
Okay, he was within. If he was if most people were thinking that he was going to go top 3, that's within 2 picks. The Bucks probably had everyone on their board. And if you look, Bruce Arians though is one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's a year out of the game, but I think that he came back for a reason. He took this specific job for a reason. And I think he has the potential to really build this Bucks team up to the talent and the potential that they could have been. Because, we talk about the Bucks and they have all these, defensive weapons. They had Quan Alexander. They had Gerald McCoy. They were able to, for a couple of years, people were like, oh, look at the Bucks. Like, they might be able to make some noise. And then last year they took a drop off.
Well, you're saying make noise. In the last 10 years, they've had 5 head coaches that finished last 8 times in their division. Yeah. They're not making noise. They're making noise.
It's a lot of white noise. It's a lot of white noise.
No,
I like your optimism, though, about
it's
every team so far.
Noise. It's a lot of white
noise. It's not noise at all.
No,
it's
silence.
It's little brother. You just ignore him.
Yeah, it's the quiet game. But here's the take. Do not be surprised if they take Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver?
Because
Ed Oliver might be their top guy on the board.
I had him going to the Jets, to be honest.
Because the thing is, they need to replace Gerald McCoy.
That's
because
true.
I don't see Gerald McCoy. So they can go many ways, and I believe they're...
I believe Goodell's about to announce the pick. Anyone quick? Anyone no boldness? Anyone?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'll say Ed Oliver, just because, I like that. Now that I hear it, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense. I could see Ed Oliver staying in the red uniform.
Ed Oliver has the best inside jacket tonight. He has that Be Someone mural in Houston, man. Shout out to Houston, man. Ed Oliver's in Houston, man. I hope he goes. I hope the Texans trade up now and get him right now.
No, I'm a Colts fan. They need to stay where they are.
You want the Colts to stay where they are?
No, I need Houston to stay where they are. They don't need any. You don't want J.J. Watt.
I have just been told the Buccaneers have drafted the linebacker Devin White out of LSU.
Okay.
Let's send it over to Anthony Abruzzo to break that down.
All right, thanks, guys. As we heard, Devin White is going to be the 5th overall pick for the Buccaneers. Charlie, give me your thoughts on that pick.
I like Devin White a lot. I really think the Buccaneers should have picked a guy like Ed Oliver or Josh Allen. I think these guys are bigger and faster than Devin White. But Devin White, pretty good guy. He went to LSU. They played in a few big games, except beating UCF. But he's solid pick.
I can see where you're coming from, but I think Devin White is a really good pick here. They definitely needed some linebacker help. You could see it already. He's a great leader, a guy who could lead a team into victory. He's going to be a leader once he comes into Tampa Bay right away, and that's what they need. But how shocked were you about the 4th overall pick with the Raiders with Farrell?
To be honest, I'm still shocked about it. I definitely think they should have picked either Ed Oliver or Josh Allen. These guys have over 50 tackles per season. Guys like Farrell, he's pretty good, but I just don't think he's a guy that's really there for the big game or to really help the team make a playoff push. I don't think he's that type of player yet. Maybe it took him a few years, but so high up in the draft, I don't think so.
There were some mock drafts that projected Clelin Ferrell to go like 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
he's getting picked, what, number 3, 4?
He got picked number 4 in the draft. I mean, come on, man. I'm still shocked about it. What do you think about the Jets going with Quentin Williams at number 3?
I do like Quentin Williams at number 3. You know, he's a pretty good guy. I think the Jets definitely need defense help. Without that defensive help, they need a lot of help. Period. The Jets, if they want to make a push in the AFC East, they're gonna need more defense. Definitely gonna need more linebacker help, more offensive lineman help. It's a good pick for the Jets.
All right. So now that we went over the Bucs, we went over every other team from 3 to 4. Now let's talk about the Giants at number 6 coming up next.
Okay.
So Giants are at number 6. There's talk about they need a quarterback. Where are we going with this pick at number 6?
Honestly,
do we think we get Dwayne Haskins? The Giants get Dwayne Haskins?
It would be a smart move for the future, but the way the Giants move, they don't make smart decisions. They really don't. They keep talking like, hey, Eli's good. Eli has a few more years in him. Eli does not have a few years left in him. He has maybe 1 year left in him. So I think they should definitely get a quarterback. Will they pick one? Definitely not. I think they'll pick somebody like, maybe Josh Allen. They need some defense help. You know what I'm saying?
This is a very interesting pick for the Giants now, because now that Josh Allen is still on the board, which I'm shocked about, Ed Oliver's still on the board, and I have Dwayne Haskins to go through.
Yeah.
If I'm the Giants, I think I'm going to take my quarterback in Dwayne Haskins.
I would take a Dwayne Haskins, but Giants don't make smart moves.
I mean, Giants do not make smart moves, but at the same time, Josh Allen will be a really good addition. They just traded away their defensive end to Cleveland.
Exactly.
So they do need some pass rush. Ed Oliver, too, would be a very interesting pick as well.
That would be a great pick for them as well. But, the Giants, they're just constantly, I feel like they put too much on Eli. They think Eli's the same quarterback when he was winning Super Bowls. Even back then, they were a wild card team. There wasn't like a dominant team. Eli has never had a dominant season. They need to draft a quarterback now for the future. If not now, then I don't know when.
What about a possibility of the Giants potentially taking a guy like Josh Allen at 6 and then maybe trading the 17th overall pick to Arizona to get Josh Rosen?
That would be kind of smart, but they definitely need somebody on defense. Their defense is one of the pick is in, but the Giants' defense was one of the worst in the league last year. So I think they definitely need some guys to add on to the defense to try to maybe help the defense take a little pressure off Eli. If the defense is keep putting all this pressure on Eli, we're gonna see Eli crumble just like the last 3 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Giants, they need help all over the place, right?
They need help
they traded OBJ for a first and third round picks, so you have extra picks to make that move.
I think now, I feel like you trading a player like OBJ for these first round picks, I just think like they really need to get a quarterback here. They really need one.
Yeah, what do you think Giants fans would think if they do not take a quarterback like Dwayne Haskins?
I think Giants fans would be pissed. I think all Giants fans think they need a quarterback right now. Constantly we've seen Eli, get sacked, get picked, throw it out of bounds all the time. You know what I'm saying? They need a backup because I feel like, Eli usually stays healthy, but for the most part, when Eli is, down in the third by 28 points, throw in the backup. At this point,
right? I think Dwayne Haskins is the best quarterback in the draft.
I think so too. I think he should have went over Kyler Murray, but that's just me.
That's me too. I think he should have went over Kyler Murray. I think the Cardinals should not have taken Kyler Murray, but hey, that's what it's all about. The Giants look like they're about to make the selection as Roger Goodell heads to the podium to announce the pick. Charlie, last minute thoughts. Who do you think they're taking?
Man, take Josh Allen or forever hold your peace.
Okay, you take Josh Allen. I think they're taking Dwayne Haskins. Let's see what they announced. The pick is in, and they...
Oh, my God!
Daniel Jones from Duke. What?
What?
Oh, my...
What?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
I am shooketh, ladies and gentlemen.
Shooketh. Man, shooketh. As the great as Ant has once said, I am puzzled.
I'm puzzled. I'm baffled. I mean,
oh my God.
Give me some more adjectives. Come on. Give me some more adjectives. I don't know what's going on here.
What did I just say? Giants do not make smart decisions.
What are the Giants doing?
Duke?
Really? Daniel Jones.
Duke?
Out of all people, you're going to take.
Serious?
You have Josh Allen. If you're not going to take a quarterback, take Josh Allen.
Oh my God.
What's going on here?
Tell
me what's going on, Charlie.
Crimedy. Oh my God. I cannot. Duke, Daniel Jones. You don't pick Haskins. Oh my God.
man,
I don't even know what to say.
I don't know, man.
I'm really confused
I'm sorry.
right now.
Tyler thinks that Daniel Jones could potentially be the best quarterback. I have to disagree. In fact, I think he's a
they
scrub.
want this.
He's a
They
scrub.
want this guy to learn from Eli. They're gonna make another Eli. Come on, nah, man.
Why didn't? Oh my goodness, they should have taken Daniel Jones with 17 if that's what they were gonna do. What is? Come on now.
Giants GM, you should get fired.
Dave Gettleman is not doing a great job. I think what is going on here?
Good luck to Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
but he's
good
gonna
luck.
need it.
Yeah, he's gonna need it. New York fans, I bet
New
you
York
they're
fans,
not.
another disappointing
Well,
season.
What do you think?
coming.
What do you think Nick's reaction is to this pick right now?
Nick's reaction, Nick probably at home with young Amari, and he's probably puzzled right now. He's probably turned off the draft at this point.
He's probably not
man.
happy. I cannot believe Daniel Jones.
Man, this guy threw 22 touchdowns last year and 9 picks. And this guy you're putting in the first round? Come on.
Do we think Daniel Jones is going to start day one, or do we think they're going to put in Eli Manning?
They're going to play Eli, of course. But let's say Eli goes down, you put Daniel Jones in, man. Oh my God.
Out of all, I cannot believe this. I cannot. I mean, wow.
This guy, oh my God.
Jesus. All right. So before we go to commercial break, let's move on. Let's move on for this nonsense, okay? Daniel Jones, forget it. Okay,
forget Daniel Jones.
Okay, let's talk about the Jaguars with the 7th overall pick. They need a lot of help all over the place. They just signed Nick Foles to a huge contract.
Okay.
What do we think the Jaguars should do with the 7th pick?
They need wide receivers and tight ends because not only did the Jaguars, their offense was horrendous last year. Compared from the year before till now.
From the jump.
Yeah,
horrible.
it was just terrible. They went from a 13-3 to like 3-13. It was a really overall bad season for them. Blake Bortles was really trash. UCF alumni, but he had a rough year.
No, we got to call it how it is, right?
I got to call it how it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wasn't very good. Nick Foles, he's going to help out Duval County a little bit, but he needs help. He needs help. I think they have a good, solid defense when the offense is actually like producing. So I think the good running back. I think they get a tight end here. That's what I think.
You think they get a tight end?
Some guy like T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good. That'd be a pretty good pick for them.
Okay, first of all, Nick Foles is my dad. Okay, but I think the Jaguars need to go with an offensive lineman here to help Nick Foles protect him.
I didn't know your last name was Foles.
Well, you know. I think get an offensive lineman. The tight end, if you're going to go with a tight end here, I think they need to trade down because the last time a tight end was picked in the top 10, it was Eric Ebron from Detroit Lions. I think it was a 9th overall pick.
Didn't work out well?
It didn't work out well. He's with the Colts. He had a great year last year. But if I'm the Jaguars, take an offensive lineman here. Take a defensive line. Josh Allen's available. Take Josh Allen. If I'm the Jaguars, take Josh Allen.
And let's touch on Daniel Jones real quick. I don't really know what the Giants see in him. Maybe they see somebody thinking that they lead him into the future, but I don't see it. I really don't.
I don't see it. I don't think he's going to.
Maybe there's something in his mental.
I don't think he's going to be a great starter at all.
Man. Maybe they see something in his arm strength. I don't see it.
That is unbelievable. Okay. All right. So we'll be going to another short commercial break, but we'll be right back as Kyle Partain will be at the set and Kyle Graham will be at the desk. We will also be joined by Zach Winnity to go over the Buffalo Bills and their selection. Stay tuned.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans. I read it every morning so I can be in the know.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though, I want them to see the hole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more. He's out. The takes are fresh.
By sports reporters and Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog for all your sports stuff. Hitting.
Field.
Hi, I'm Dave Jeffrey, attorney at law. Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Dave would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Derp-de-derp.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week. So you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball.
Yeah. God, yeah. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball.
Good morning, fellas, except for Andre.
KG in the building.
James Harden's a stat man.
That is right, you're right. It's the best score.
He has 120 straight points. Bro, 120 straight points now. He just back.
All right, let's do this. Let's get down to business, guys.
He's like Russell. He still got Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, and them boys. Come on now.
What about Carl?
Tom Brady gets the sun.
Facts.
I think it's kind of special though.
What? What are you talking about, man? Crazy, man. Don't ever say that. This is your dad. What are you talking about?
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys,
mad.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been in the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
Welcome back to Hitting the Field. I'm Partain, and joining me here for our next few picks are Mark Tavilla, Tyler Fellerman, Connor Dowd, and Jonathan Anderson. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
So, while we were on break, we got the Jags pick. The Jags pick was in, and they picked Josh Allen from Kentucky. And I just want to, as a Jags fan, I feel like this is a steal.
Definitely.
This is a mad steal to get him at this point in the draft. I can't believe he wasn't taken. And I just want to get y'all's opinions on this as well, starting with you, Connor.
I'm going to say it's not that great of a pick. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but the Jags need help elsewhere. They could have taken an offensive lineman, tight end, a wide receiver, which they really lack right now. Their offense was terrible this past season. Their defense has been pretty good. I think just being on the field so much really killed them last season, and that's why their numbers aren't so good. But he's a great player. He's going to contribute a lot, and they could have taken someone else, but not that bad.
Anyone else want to add something to that?
I think it was a great pick. I think the Raiders could have taken him. I think he's better than Clelin Ferrell. I think the Giants should have taken him. Daniel Jones, as much as a fan I am of him, I think he should have went 17. Zach Allen, I think, is one of, if not the best edge rusher in the draft. And you can never have too many defensive linemen in the NFL.
It's a shame that he didn't go to the Bills. Never going to have too many Josh Allens on one team. So,
Two more picks, it could have happened. Jonathan?
I just feel like it's an okay pick, but I feel like they should have drafted Jawan Taylor.
Okay. What makes you think that?
The biggest problem this past season was the offensive line, how they didn't block. So if they would have drafted Jawan Taylor, it would have gave them an extra boost course, like an extra depth to the O-line, but it could have helped. But drafting Josh Allen, let's see.
Okay. Well, in other news, the Lions pick is actually in as we speak. So I kind of want to get a feel for who you guys think the Lions should draft, starting with you, Tyler.
Jawan Taylor. I think he's going to be the first offensive lineman off the board. Matt Stafford needs a lot of help, and I think they secure the pick with the offensive lineman.
Any rebuttal to that, Connor?
I'm going to say Jawan Taylor, too. He's one of the best in the game right now. And Matt Stafford, he's got a great arm. He needs blocking up front. He's got a good run game, too. If he can just get some more time in the pocket, I think the Lions could really make some noise this year.
Mark?
I'm going to have to go probably with Jawan Taylor. I just think in general that the team has to start – I think in general these teams need to start understanding that they can't be paying some players that they are, especially with the Lions. Like, I trust in Matt Patricia as the head coach, considering he's an old Patriots coach. But the fact that they're going to be overpaying someone like Trey Flowers, who I loved, but the fact that they can't you have to start understanding that you can't be able to pay these people like that much money and not be able to start building a team. You got to be able to find someone in these drafts and start building from the ground up.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And now, Jonathan, I kind of want to toss it to you. What is your take on the Bucs pick? I know that happened a couple picks ago, but I kind of want to get your feel for what your team picked.
I really like it. You know, I feel like by drafting Devin White, it gives them extra need at the linebacker position since we lost Kwan Alexander. Devin White, to me, his energy, his leadership will bring not only excitement, but bring the expectation on what's next for the Bucs.
Yeah, so I like that take. But just in, the breaking news, the Lions pick is in, and they have taken T.J. Hawkinson from Iowa. Any thoughts on that, Connor?
I think it's a great pick. He's going to add a lot to the team right now, and especially like this upcoming season, Matt Patricia, he's new. You need young guys to like kind of start building a franchise, and Matt Patricia, like he loves young guys, and I think they can really make some good plays this year.
Jonathan?
I really don't like it. I feel like they should have drafted DK from Ole Miss. It would have gave them an extra deep threat for Matthew Stafford to help him out on the offensive side. But by them drafting TJ, well, let's see.
Let's see.
It depends with it. If you have another big target, like if you have DK, if he does turn out to be what everyone's saying he's going to be, he could play like Calvin Johnson or something like that, and give Stafford another big target downfield. Or if Hawkinson manages to have some solid receiver ability as well, I think it's a pretty good pick. I think it's a okay pick. I personally would have liked to see it come to the Patriots, but obviously I think he was going to go high anyway. So.
Yeah, you bring that up. I would have liked to see him go to the Jags as well. So I think this is a really good pick. I think he's only going to do nothing but help Stafford, and that offense, while it can be efficient, it lulls at times. And I just think this is a really good pick. Tyler, you agree, disagree?
I think this is a great pick. We talked about how Matt Stafford needs some more help. Well, TJ is going to add that. He can catch the ball. He can block. He resembles Zach Ertz a lot. He's not as good right now, but he can block pretty good for a tight end, and he can catch the ball. So we said Matt Stafford needs more protection, and T.J. Hawkinson's going to add to that.
Yeah. So I think the general consensus is T.J. Hawkinson, good choice. So actually, the Bills are coming up next. I want to get a quick thought from you guys about the Bills pick. Connor?
I think the Bills had a great season last season, especially because the rookie quarterback and everything. I think they could use some more help on defense, and with the run game, they didn't play the best. Got some Bills fans over there. They didn't play the best, but they can definitely get some help on the offensive line and on the defensive side of the ball. So.
Actually, you bring that up, and, from one Kyle going to the next, the Bills pick is up, and we have two Bills experts coming up at the desk, and we're going to see what exactly they have to choose and what they have to talk about. Off to you, Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. I'm with Zach Winicky, the other half of Orlando Bills Mafia. So we didn't get Josh Allen.
Good.
On the board, we still have Ed Oliver, and we also have a lot of offensive linemen. What are you thinking we're going to do here?
Well, they're obviously going to pick a defensive tackle because they can't help themselves.
That's true.
Be a massive waste, but it is what it is. They should just trade out.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to trade out.
This has been just a ridiculous draft, but the good thing is, the best part about this whole thing is they can't have the worst pick this year.
I mean,
they blew it last year.
It was Daniel Jones.
Exactly.
But I was watching the draft show last year, and I remember, and I'm going to call you guys out. I think it was Ant, it was Jaret, and it was actually, Jeremy was on Josh Allen's side, but those two I just mentioned.
I'm not, so.
You were also not on Josh Allen's side.
I'm not. It's amazing that we found another quarterback who was worse in college and got taken higher than Josh Allen. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
got over 1,700 yards in the Mountain West Conference. Unbelievable.
I mean, stats.
But he's got big hands.
Stats are for nerds.
He's got big hands. He's got short shorts.
He has big hands. Looks good in shorts. Rocket arm.
That's all I care about.
That's all I want in a quarterback. And he's handsome.
Well, he can hurdle.
He can hurdle.
He can hurdle.
Can Aaron Rodgers hurdle?
No, you ever seen him do it? Because I haven't.
What happened to Anthony Barr when he went up to Aaron Rodgers?
Hurt him.
What happened with Josh Allen?
He jumped over him.
Case closed.
See, Josh Allen's learning.
Goat status.
Goat status.
But yeah, honestly, all right, so we still have some time on the board. I would not mind Ed Oliver. I mean, coming into the season last year, he's one of the top 3 prospects from the draft.
My thing is, I don't want any more players from the American Athletic Conference. None.
Why?
Because Zay Jones, I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it, is just kind of bad.
He's getting better.
He's getting better, sure. But, like,
I don't know. They still got Anthony Miller from the Bears actually had a pretty productive
what did he do, like, have
season.
5 touchdowns?
He was like a 3rd or 4th string.
Oh,
He was
okay.
doing well.
I don't care. No, this is the top 10 pick. They don't need someone who's going to just blow it. I don't need that. I need someone who's... They need to take an offensive tackle, but they're not going to. Apparently, Jonah Williams, is that his name? His arms are too short? What is that? He's good. Take him.
All right, the pick is in.
All right, well, I'm going to be disappointed. I will take my mic off and walk off the set if I don't like it.
Please don't.
I'm going to.
You know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead? Good. I'm going to because I'm upset. I will turn the jersey around.
You're not a king of my eyes anymore.
I don't need to be a king, all right?
All right. I mean,
my king is on the Chargers.
There is still another tight end from Iowa.
I will cry. I will cry. Why would you take when has taking a tight end in the top 10 ever worked? Never.
When has it not?
Eric Ebron.
He had a really good season last year.
10 years into it.
Okay.
Not on the Lions.
It's still a long-term
plan. He did a great
plan,
job for the
worked.
Colts. He didn't help the Lions out at all. The Lions might be almost as irrelevant as the Bills.
Ooh, I got insight. I know who it is.
Who is it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Come on, just
You're
spoil it
just
for
going
me.
to find out. No.
Just spoil it for me. Come on.
He played in the same conference as your favorite wide receiver.
Oh, my God. You know what? I'm not even mad. Whatever. He's a good player. Whatever.
Golf clap on that.
Yeah, golf clap. There you go.
All right. So, from what I'm hearing, and he's announcing it right now.
Hearing.
We
You're
are
an insider? You got sources?
Yeah, I have sources. Do you have sources?
Yeah, I do.
And we're going to select
All right.
Ed Oliver.
All
Let's
right.
go.
You know
I'm
what?
not mad.
Whatever.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, I can't.
We had Kyle Williams that just retired. He was the heart and soul of our defense.
He was.
I mean, our defensive line was not. It wasn't bad,
Okay,
but
but
like our pass rush was definitely needed to be upgraded.
Sure, but they just spent all that money on Star Lotulelei, right?
Yeah.
And then they drafted Harrison Phillips, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why a third defensive tackle? I get you can never have enough pass rushers, but my God.
From what I
how many?
understand, Ed Oliver can also move maybe as a defensive end, and he has versatility.
They have defensive ends.
I mean, Jerry Hughes
He's good.
And Shaq Lawson are both coming on a contract year. You have Trent Murphy, who's got like a 3-year deal, but like he's kind of an iffy. Like they still have a lot of question marks.
Sure, but take care of that next year when you actually need one. This year,
or pick the best available player right now and.
But
deal with
we
it
could
now.
also, but a better player probably would have been an offensive tackle because you put all that money into or all that stuff into Josh Allen and you can't keep him upright.
I mean,
you know why he had so many rushing yards?
I mean, they did make a lot of acquisitions. They got Mitch Morse from Kansas City.
Sure, and they got rid of Jordan Mills, which is massive.
I mean,
no one wants to talk about it. That's the move of the offseason. Jordan Mills going. That's the greatest move of all time.
People don't want to say it.
They don't want to say it, but I will.
Tyrod Taylor had to deal with Jordan Mills.
He took the Bills to the playoffs with Jordan Mills on his, was it right or left side?
He was right side.
Right side. On his right side. Who else has done that? It was like blocking with 4 people, and they went to the playoffs. And now he's stuck behind Phillip Rivers. Unbelievable.
You know,
unbelievable.
Phillip Rivers, he's just another son in his eyes, in my opinion. He's just going to be under his wing, and he's just going to learn, and he's going to become Anthony Lynn's favorite quarterback in a few years. Think about it, because Anthony Lynn and Tyrod had a really good relationship. I'm assuming.
Did. And they're going to build that offense around him. He's going to take that job. I'm cheering for it. Go Tyrod. Tyrod forever.
Any closing statements from you? Because to me, I know you want to go off on Tyrod a little bit, so I'll give you the floor.
I'm not going to go over Tyrod. What I'm going to say is this wasn't as bad as last year, right? Because I know you love Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds.
My sons.
They're not my sons, all right?
My sons and my father at the same time. So
that's an interesting family dynamic. But the point is that they did better than last year. This isn't the worst pick of the draft. We already saw that happen. So, and Ed Oliver's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I just rather would have helped Josh Allen stay upright, because you can't throw if you're on your back. I guess you could, but
I mean, they did upgrade their offensive line, so we'll see.
Did they really though?
We got Cole Beasley.
Okay, so they got
John Brown.
Oh my God! See, no, they got two guys who have been whatever, and then they got a bunch of backup tackles.
All
Like
right,
that's gonna
I'm
help.
about to cut you off because I'm gonna bring it back to the couch side with Kyle. I'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys. So we got a couple picks coming up here. I got 3 names. Denver's actually on. I want to hear your takes on all of them. Devin Bush, Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock. I feel pretty confident in some order those are going to be the next 3 picks between Denver, Cincinnati, and Green Bay. Mark, we'll start with you. What do you think about this?
I think Dwayne, it's kind of obvious you're going to have to go with Dwayne Haskins is probably going to end up getting taken up first. I mean, it's just I think he's a perfect all-around body in general when it comes to football. He's a large quarterback, can throw well in the pocket, and he has mobility outside of it as well. And it's just smart with the football. It's about a game manager. And I think he is, in my opinion, I think he's right up there with Kyler. I think he's got a better body for it as well for the NFL. I think he's ready.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I'm a little surprised Haskins hasn't been taken yet. Personally speaking, I think he's the best quarterback in this draft class.
I mean, Daniel Jones, but
yeah, good job, New York, by the way. But I just want to stress. I think personally, something is telling me Denver is going to go with Drew Lock.
Yep.
Jonathan, you're shaking your head. What do you think about that?
I mean, of course, Denver deserved to draft like a quarterback for the future, and Drew Lock is not the answer. They needed to go with like Dwayne Haskins.
So you're saying Dwayne Haskins is clearly the pick over Drew Lock?
He's NFL ready. He's incredibly smart. His IQ is off the charts. He fits within their system. Of course, Denver likes to pass as well as running, but they like more passing. So, what quarterback do you like? Would you draft? Dwayne Haskins. So he fits within that system.
Yeah. No, I think Haskins is the better quarterback, but I heard Tyler over here saying Drew Lock. You're leaning toward Drew Lock?
Definitely, I think Drew Lock. There was some reports John Elway really liked Drew Lock in the workouts. I think Dwayne Haskins fits perfectly in Cincy, backing up Andy Dalton for maybe a year, maybe even taking over this year. I think, and then, as you said, Devin Bush, I think he goes right to Green Bay right after that. I think Denver fell in love with Drew Lock. They're going to stick with him. I know the Bengals are looking for a backup quarterback to take over for Andy Dalton because he hasn't really done much recently. He's kind of hit his peak. So Dwayne Haskins there, and then I think Devin Bush fits perfectly with Green Bay.
I think you can say it's just about Denver as well, like you said before, John. It's all about what do they like better. They like passing, they like a pocket passer, like someone that's kind of can sit back but they can sling it. So I think it's, I don't know, if Elway's going to kind of go towards that, I mean, I don't think he's going to make a bad choice.
The Broncos also have Joe Flacco, who I think they can put Drew Lock behind for a year or two, and then he'll learn from him. Dwayne Haskins, I think, is ready to go right now. He could take over, and I don't think that's what they're looking for.
No, I think he does kind of fit into Cincinnati's a little bit. I was saying I just still think it's crazy that he hasn't been picked up yet.
I want to see that Haskins to A.J. Green.
I hate to cut you off, but breaking news, we just found out the Broncos have traded their pick to Pittsburgh. Guys, what do you think about that? Connor, we'll start with you.
I think
it's
a bad trade. I'm going to be honest. I think it's a bad trade. I think they should have taken Drew Lock. Joe Flacco has 3 good years left at best. At his peak, he had a really good defense with him. I'll say that. I think they should have taken Drew Lock. John Elway loves tall quarterbacks. Pittsburgh, good move. Now they have like a top 10 pick. They can maybe pick up someone on the offensive line or the defensive side of the ball. Pittsburgh isn't that bad. I know they lost like 2 big players this year, but we'll see what they do.
I'm assuming they traded for their 20 pick for the 10 pick. Do you think they could get Drew Lock there?
I think he'll still be on the board. I think Haskins is going to the Bengals, and I think he'll still be on the board. I don't see anybody else taking him.
I feel like Pittsburgh should draft like Devin Bush.
I think he'll go right here. I think
Devin
Devin Bush
fit
is
in
gone.
with Ryan Shazier's spot.
Yeah. You were kind of bringing it up. Green Bay was threatening. It makes sense for Pittsburgh if they really want Devin Bush to trade up to get this pick before, like you said, Green Bay inevitably took it. And it looks like Pittsburgh's pick is actually in. Mark, I want to get any last thought from you before they announce this pick.
I'm going to say, if they do end up not going with Devin Bush and going for a quarterback, what does that mean for Big Ben? I mean, you're talking about someone who's been kind of out the door. Tomlin's been making some, a little bit of shifty decisions past couple of years, and now with the situation that they're in, they need to start really trying to find those big-time players, those big key players to really settle in and take care of that system, really kind of bring it back together to where Pittsburgh was. So.
Yeah, no, Pittsburgh's system is definitely, I don't want to say broken, but it's definitely cracked after these past couple of seasons. And to be honest, I do think Pittsburgh needs, like you were saying, just someone to really kickstart that kickstart that, get it back. I want to hear anyone else have any.
I wouldn't say Pittsburgh's offense been crap for the past few seasons. I mean, they got rid of two of the biggest headaches. So.
Oh, you think so? So you think it's a good thing that they got rid of these two?
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger had a great year last year. If you look at the stats, he had one of his best years in a while. He just re-signed a 2-year extension. I don't think they're trying to get rid of Big Ben.
No, I'm not saying they're trying to get rid of him. I was saying that it's just, I think with the way the system was set up, they had too much power into a few people. And actually, if you want to go
And this just in, the pick is in for Pittsburgh, and it is Devin Bush. So no surprise there, guys.
That's a
good pick.
Oh yeah. I went to elementary school with Devin Bush, best friend in first grade. Shout out.
How about that?
Just name dropping, sorry.
All right.
No, name drop all you want. Name drop all you want, man. Connor, so you like Devin Bush. You like the idea of that.
Yeah, I think it was a really good trade by Pittsburgh. I think that if the Broncos are going to get Drew Lock, I think he'll still be there. So if that works out, then it's a good move on both parts. I think Devin Bush will help a lot on their defense.
So everyone in agreement, that was a very strong pick.
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
Questions about his size, but he's an athletic freak. He can take over.
Yeah.
That's a leader.
But, so obviously Devin Bush, big pick. And do you think this has anything to do with Shazier? They're trying to replace Shazier.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah?
Their defense hasn't been the same. They have really good players, but they haven't had that same intensity that the Steelers' defense, the Steel Curtain, has had over these past 10 years-ish. So I think they could really get something started.
They need that defensive leader back, and I think they got it.
Major injuries like that, they can just completely destroy a whole kind of mindset in the team. So it's that kind of stuff happens in other sports as well. I think there's the same thing with Jose Fernandez of the Marlins. When he died, I think that kind of traded everything. And it kind of changed that whole aspect of that team. And when Ryan Shazier got hurt, and hope to God he makes it back to where he used to be. So, but I think this is a great decision by the Steelers.
Yeah, no, Shazier was undoubtedly one of the biggest pieces, if not the central focal point of that defense, the Iron Curtain. So Devin Bush is a great filler. He's not even a filler. He's a great starter. He's a great star for Pittsburgh. And I think that's going to be a really long time of success with that team. I think Pittsburgh made a really good decision. And coming up next is actually Cincinnati. So we're all going to agree that the Bengals are probably taking Dwayne Haskins.
Go with Haskins
for sure. Who do you think?
Some disagreement here, Jonathan.
Who do you think they got? Who do you think they got?
I think they should get Drew Lock.
Drew Lock?
Yes.
No.
You think Drew Lock's better than Dwayne Haskins?
It's not about who's better. It's about the system. It's about who fits the system better. I just feel like Drew Lock fits within Cincinnati's offensive style. So
I feel like with AJ Green, a deep ball threat, Dwayne Haskins would fit perfectly there. He's missed a couple deep throws, but that wasn't really the offense that he was running. But he's got a huge arm, and putting that with AJ Green, I think, is deadly.
I think Dwayne Haskins is definitely the most accurate passer in this draft class. He might not be the best, to some people, but I think he's the most precision-based quarterback. And I think with the Bengals offense, I think he'd be the best fit. And Drew Lock, I don't think he'd fit well with them.
Yeah. So Jonathan, I want to go back to something you said a couple picks ago, with when Denver was picking. You believed then that Dwayne Haskins was the best quarterback in the league, and you think from there you said quality is above system. And now you're suddenly saying system is above quality. I'd just like to get your thought on that.
Okay, going back to what I was saying about the Denver pick, of course, I still believe that Dwayne Haskins fit within Denver's offense. But looking at Cincinnati, if Drew Lock gets selected by Cincinnati, not only will he'll be a backup for 2 years behind Andy Dalton, but Andy Dalton can groom him like how A.J. McCarron, when he was selected by the Bengals, and how he was groomed, and how he came in and shined. Even though I feel like he should have started from day one, but he groomed. That's how I feel like with Drew Lock.
So you think Drew Lock fits better into Zach Taylor, the new head coach for Cincinnati? You think he fits better into his system than Haskins does?
Yes.
Okay. What about you guys? Any last thoughts? Cincinnati's pick is actually in. So any last thoughts before we hear this pick?
I just think Dwayne Haskins is the most pro-ready quarterback right now. I don't really want my rookie quarterback learning too much from Andy Dalton. So I would take Haskins because he's just more pro-ready.
So I'm hearing the pick for Cincinnati is Jonah Williams out of Alabama.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah. So that comes as kind of a surprise to me.
I'm guessing it's kind of surprising the rest of you guys as well.
Yeah, that means they're going to ride Andy Dalton for a couple more seasons, which don't think is the right move. I mean, they've been mediocre at best. They haven't won a playoff game in, 9 years or something crazy like that?
You can definitely say, though, that they helped get the Bills to the playoffs a few seasons ago. So,
it
they
was
did
definitely
do one thing recently.
Yeah.
Definitely a need that they needed to take care of, offensive line. I don't know if it was the biggest need right now for them, though.
Yeah, now you bring up a good point. Obviously, Cincinnati's a team that has to address several needs with their roster. But like you were saying, quarterback might just be the biggest issue with that roster. So I disagree with this pick. Jonathan?
I agree with the pick. I mean, of course, all of us wanted the Cincinnati Bengals to draft the quarterback. But also, the need of an offensive lineman, I feel like it fits the number one on the most important need instead of, drafting a quarterback because – looking at Cincinnati's, their offense this past season, it's been terrible, but one of the biggest issues is the offensive line. If you draft a good offensive lineman, it can help the quarterback not only get better, but succeed.
Do you think that they could try to find another quarterback later on? Do you think that there's somebody else?
They can later on, if not in the draft, then during free agency, but as of right now, drafting Jonah Williams from Alabama, great fit.
Great fit. Connor, what do you think?
I think it's, he said, it's going to be a good fit. Not sure it was the best pick. I think Dwayne Haskins could really add some mobility in the pocket. Andy Dalton doesn't have that, obviously. And he's old. He's pretty washed up at this point. And I think it would have been a better pick to take Haskins. But this is going to help Andy Dalton, maybe. I don't know. The Bengals are pretty bad.
It comes down to his age, honestly, because he had some pretty good seasons at some point early on in his career. But yeah, with his older age, it's going to be tough for him. But now with them trying to start developing that offensive line, I think that's a really just, I don't know. I think it's very overlooked. I think offensive tackles and anything you draft earlier on, they're usually going to put in a lot of work for you from the get-go. It's an offensive lineman and just lineman in general is something that you can coach in a few seasons as long as you get that. As long as you get the right system going around them. So I think it's going to help them out for sure. Mm-hmm. It's all about them trying to scramble to find that quarterback in the next couple of seasons, if not this draft later on.
Yeah. So there's been a couple of surprises. Obviously, this is a fun draft. Up next is Green Bay. Guys, we were all thinking Devin Bush was going to Green Bay. So what kind of is the approach now for the Packers?
I like Brian Burns here. I think he fits their system well. They just lost Clay Matthews. I think he could slide right in for them.
Yeah.
I think they go defense, yeah.
I think they go offensive line. Aaron Rodgers has been one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the past 3 seasons, I think, and he's one of the best. He just doesn't have enough time to throw the ball, and if they can pick up a really stellar offensive lineman, they could be back to those 2012 Packers that we all know were so good.
You put an offensive line for him to guard him. He's a kind of quarterback that's going to be able to create opportunities for his wide receivers. He's somebody that can really turn his crew, his platoon, into something more special. I think it's a similar situation with a lot of these big-time name quarterbacks. They can take anybody and turn them into people that can perform during the regular season.
Yeah. Now, John, I've been told you have a pretty interesting take on the Packers. Who do you think the Packers are going to take here?
While everybody's just talking, I feel like, in my opinion, it's a 50-50. They might go offense, they might go defense, we don't know. But in my opinion, I feel like they should draft a quarterback. The reason why I say this because just looking back of how when Brett Favre was quarterbacking for the Green Bay Packers, how they selected Aaron Rodgers, and how it took Aaron Rodgers some years to develop and being mentored by Brett Favre. And look how Aaron Rodgers is now. He won a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl MVP, and he's great. But I think it's time to draft a quarterback that could be for the future for Green Bay.
Where do you think he stands right now with just how long do you think of a career he has left? I mean, he's still performing.
Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, got a good 3 to 4 years left.
Do you like Drew Lock or Haskins here?
Haskins.
I can see that. I don't know. Rodgers is a pretty once in a lifetime quarterback. I think that guy's got plenty of time left. I'd say at least, in my opinion, 5-6 years plus.
I mean,
maybe
people were saying that about Brett Favre. He has some good years left. And look, they drafted Aaron Rodgers.
So when did they draft Aaron Rodgers? Wasn't that later in the round though?
Later on in the first round.
Yeah.
So if you as the Green Bay Packers drafted Dwayne Haskins, you set for the future. he could take notes from Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully he could be a great successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future.
I could see, and it would be a good way to develop them. And also, I just think that there are some quarterbacks that like Dwayne Haskins that could go and develop better, and develop better in a sense that he could jump in a couple seasons and be good with a team that really needs that quarterback, that really needs that bona fide top prospect QB right now. Whereas I think that you could go later on in the draft, whatever pick that they can get, and find someone and start developing him.
Like who? If they don't draft Dwayne Haskins, then who?
I think they could wait for Will Greer if they wanted to
think you
trade.
could wait.
I mean, if you're taking
It's not a bad choice.
the successor of Aaron Rodgers, I don't think you take him at number 12. I think you take a need that you can plug in and start right away. If you want to get that successor, trade back, get Drew Lock, get Will Greer, one of those guys. I don't know if 12 is the pick to get the successor of Aaron Rodgers, especially when he's going to be sitting on your bench for 3-4 years.
Yeah, there's no immediate impact there, and I think the Packers do need an impact player now. They don't need one in 4 years. And Aaron Rodgers is in his prime, so it could be really helpful if they had a good player now.
Now, John, you said 50-50 offense, defense. Who do you think for defense?
For defense, I'm going to look at a DB position. I think they should draft Byron Murphy.
Anyone agree with that pick?
I think they go defense here, but not DB.
I could see someone defensive wise. I could see them trying to either find some form of maybe an edge rusher, someone maybe.
So I just got word
need.
Green Bay's pick is in. They took Rashad Gary out of Michigan.
Ooh, defensive
Interesting.
end.
Yeah,
It's a good
interesting
pick.
Hey, edge rusher. There we go. See.
Yeah,
Quick
edge rusher.
thoughts, guys. Quick thoughts.
I'm a psychic. That's what I'm saying.
Good
Great.
pick. Good
Yeah.
pick. I think he's going to
Good
make
pick.
good
It's a
impact.
good
Especially
John,
after
good
losing
pick.
Clay Matthews.
It's good.
See, I
Good
agreed
pick for
with you.
everyone.
Yeah.
I agreed with you. I think it was going to go.
I thought it was going to be Brian Burns, but they went with another defensive end, so I think it's a good pick.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have right now. Stay tuned because after the break, we'll be joined by Armond and company as we break down the next picks of this year's NFL Draft.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans. I read it every morning so I can be in the know.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though. I want them to see the hole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more. He's out. The takes are fresh.
By sports reporters. And Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog for all your sports stuff. Hitting.
Field.
Hi, I'm Dave Jeffrey, attorney at law. Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Dave would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Derp de derp.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week. So you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball. Yeah.
God. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball.
Good morning, fellas, except for Andre.
KG in the building.
James Harden's a stat pack.
That is not, you're right.
It's the best score.
He has 120 straight points now.
Bro, 120 straight points now. He doesn't pay.
All right. Let's do this. Let's get down to business, guys.
You still got Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, and them boys. Come on now.
What about Carl?
Tom Brady kisses the sun.
Facts. I think it's kind of special, though.
What? What are you talking about, man? Crazy, man.
Don't ever say that.
This is your dad. What are you talking about?
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys, I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been in the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been in the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
Well, I am joined here by Kyle Graham, Anthony Abruzzo, Colin Smith, and Jonathan Anderson. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man. It's been a crazy night so far.
Honestly,
really
unexpected.
crazy. Yeah,
how's
unexpected.
your draft night going so far? Everybody satisfied with it?
I got Oliver. I'm happy.
I mean, I can't believe the Giants still took Daniel Jones, man. Like, what?
I don't know what's more busting, my bracket or my mock draft.
I think my mock draft, yeah. It's not good right now. It's looking great. Not looking
You
hot.
didn't have a Duke quarterback in your top 10?
I did not.
Well,
No.
I'm happy. My team picked Devin White, so I'm happy.
Well, these next three picks are actually, from teams that hired new head coaches. So, guys, what do you think about that?
It's a very interesting point. I mean, you understand and you realize why they're picking at where they are right now. So
I know we had the Dolphins and you have the Falcons. Or excuse me, Dolphins, Falcons, and you have the Redskins. Obviously, Dwayne Haskins hasn't been picked up yet. Is that a shocker to you guys?
It is. I mean, I think Dwayne Haskins should have been drafted already, and I think this is really going to fall in Washington's lap, right? Because there was rumors that if they would have wanted him, they would have had to trade it up. Now all of a sudden, they may be able to just sit there, wait, and just let him take Dwayne Haskins at 15. I think this has worked out perfectly for Washington.
To me, actually, it's not that surprising. I did see a lot of reports, or just a lot of mock drafts that had like the Giants not picking and trying to get Daniel Jones. But
I'm going to stop right there. The pick is in for the Dolphins, and the Dolphins select Christian Wilkins out of Clemson. What do you guys think about that real quick?
I mean, Christian Wilkins played in a lot of big games at Clemson, right? He's played in multiple national championship games. He's won 2. He's played in 3. I think adding a Christian Wilkins with that defensive line, I think is going to give dividends to Miami. We all know Miami's going to go on to a rebuild process, so getting a guy like Christian Wilkins who's played in big-time games before is really good.
All right, we're going to send it to Ross and Kyle to break down the pick.
Thanks, Armond. Thanks, guys. Well, Ross, my local our expert Dolphins analyst, excuse me. So, what do you think about this pick, first and foremost?
Well, I could say it's an average player, but there's someone I've had in mind throughout the whole season that really, really think could get the ball rolling for this organization. We talked about him earlier.
That is correct. We actually had a discussion earlier, and really about this pick and who Ross thinks should be the Dolphins' pick. Guys, we have this pre-recorded segment. I hope you enjoy. No.
So, guys, Overall, I mean, the Dolphins, we know what we need, everything. We basically got a running back, and that's about it. We have Fitz magic, so I expect to start the season about 4-0 and end the season 4-12. But there's nothing really you could expect from the Dolphins except poor decisions. But, we wish for the best. That's all we could do.
Yeah, it is. It has been a rough patch for the Dolphins, obviously. So, obviously, Terrence Ross, an interesting choice of yours for the pick. But let's move on to the next pick, the 14th pick, the Atlanta Falcons. So, the Falcons have an interesting kind of situation. No one expected them to kind of decline the way they did. Just a few years ago, they were in the Super Bowl. Now, a lot of that has to do with the lackluster defense. There's plenty of talent on offense. Ross, what do you think their choice should be? Defense?
I mean, it's pretty obvious. You have Matt Ryan, you have Julio Jones, you have a great offense. Defense is really all you need. It seems like when they blew that lead to the Patriots, it's all gone downhill since then. So I think a strong defensive presence, I just think it'll really benefit the team. But you can only hope for so much.
Yeah, no, I'm going to throw a name out at you. I want you to tell me if you think this is a good pick. Greedy Williams out of LSU. You think that's a solid choice? You think that could be who they go for?
Honestly, that's who I was thinking of in mind. I think it'd be a really good pick. It would really help the defense, strengthen the defense as a whole. And honestly, I think that'd be a good pick. I like that.
Yeah, I have to say, I think Greedy Williams is the best possible choice for here for the Falcons. I think he's proven himself time and time again back at LSU. He's just been terrific all season long, and really his whole career at LSU. And he's a real game changer, could really change the Falcons' offense. Could you tell me what impact you think he could have immediately with the Falcons?
I mean, he's an NFL-ready prospect. You throw him on the team, and you don't really have to train him. It's not like a prospect you're going to be like, hey, 3-4 years, we'll have him ready. He'll probably do something then. It's put him in, get ready, get the results now. So overall, I think that'd be the best decision for them. So I think immediate impact, great decision if they do that.
Yeah, no, I do think that's the right choice. And it's just hard for me. No one else is really coming to mind for this pick. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of players out here that could make a good impact, but I just don't see any of them. I just think Greedy Williams is by far the best player left at his position, cornerback, and I don't see a real downside to this pick. Is there any downside here?
No, I mean, a strong cornerback could really help the secondary of any team, and at the end of the day, this is a passing league. You need someone that could shut down a good quarterback and shut down a good wide receiver. So I think that'd be very beneficial.
So, all right, well, to answer this pick and to call this pick, we're going to toss it back to Armond at the desk. Guys?
Well, guys, what do you guys think?
I mean, they made a good point about Greedy Williams for the 14th pick. I would say if they don't go Greedy Williams, maybe they go with an offensive tackle, maybe a guy like a Cody Ford from Oklahoma. Maybe you can go with a guy like an Andre Dillard from Washington State, because you need to protect Matt Ryan. And I think, last year he kind of got hit a little too much. So I would go with either offensive line or I'd go with Greedy Williams from LSU.
Okay. Kyle?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the past couple of years they've gone defensive route. They definitely should protect Matt Ryan a lot. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do it like a pick in the secondary, just because that's also been one of their weaknesses. But there's so many different scenarios. I just really don't know who they're gonna pick.
Colin?
Who was the offensive lineman that got picked earlier? Was that Jawan Taylor? Or was that?
No, it was not.
I just see Falcons picking up because of the offensive lineman route, Jawan Taylor.
It was Jonah Williams that got picked.
Williams, thank you. Yeah, I could see them picking up offensive lineman to protect Matt Ryan a little bit, make sure he has a little bit more longevity to his career. Or I could also see secondary. I just think they're going to do the best available what they need, which is O-line.
Yeah, I see that too.
Jonathan?
I feel like the Falcons should, of course, draft Greedy Williams. They definitely need help at the DB position, and I think he'll bring immediate impact to the team.
The pick is in for the Falcons, and they picked Chris Lindstrom, guard out of Boston College.
Wow.
Interesting.
So,
very interesting.
You called it. They needed an offensive lineman, and
they picked.
I know you're very excited about this pick. What do you think?
Look, I mean, I'm not excited about the pick. I mean,
you are.
I don't know about that. Look, they needed an offensive lineman, and there wasn't a guy that I was expecting, but they did get an offensive lineman, so they helped protect Matt Ryan for years to come. He just signed a huge contract too.
Huge.
So.
I mean, is it the right offensive lineman? We don't know.
I don't know yet.
It could fit. It could be perfect for their scheme. Could be have a relationship with their offense coaches. We don't know. But I mean, I thought they should go probably tackle here. It looks like they got like a guard, maybe center. But
They got a guard.
What do you think, Colin?
You know what? They need an O-lineman. I don't think it was a bad pick necessarily because I think they know what they're doing. I have faith in the Falcons because of the fact of how good they've been doing recently, besides last year when they went 7-9. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it turns out because of the fact that it's just somewhere from left field, basically. You don't really expect Chris. I don't even know his last name. You know, it's
Lindstrom.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Sounds like a clothing store. Lindstrom.
Yeah,
He wasn't really on our mock
it's
draft,
a designer.
as you can
He wasn't even really on our mock draft, so it's a very interesting pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll be bad. I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah. A quick thing here is that the Falcons, they went on a downward spiral. They went from a team in the Super Bowl in 2016 to a team that went 7-9 this past season. So the things that they're continuing to build, the way back to a championship contending team. Jonathan, what do you think?
Well, as much as I wanted the Falcons to draft Greedy Williams, I think this is a great pick. It gives them extra need at the offensive line side. It helps Matt Ryan because he definitely needed the protection. This past season wasn't terrible, but you could tell that the offensive line wasn't working. So by drafting Lindstrom, if I'm saying his name right, by drafting him, it gives them a great fit.
It doesn't hurt to have more depth too. So
Yes.
To me, I think after they lost in Super Bowl, they lost a lot of swagger. Like when they came in, they confidence. So like I think they just. I mean, obviously I don't know if a guard can do that. He could help with leadership. You just don't know, but. I mean, I'm hoping in the draft they try to find some leaders on their team that can actually bring that culture back, or at least somebody just step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So up next is the 15th pick.
Okay.
In NFL
Here
draft
we
is
go.
the Redskins. Guys, I mean, they're looking for. What do you think they're looking for?
Come here.
Haskins.
It's got to be Haskins. First of all, it's Dwayne Haskins, not whatever are you saying?
Haskins.
Haskins, okay?
Haskins,
Dwayne Haskins is clearly the best quarterback in the draft. It is mind-boggling that he hasn't even been picked yet.
Better than Murray?
I think he's better than Murray. Look, Murray is more athletic, but overall, Dwayne Haskins is the best quarterback in the draft. Go ahead, Colin.
Here's the thing. We've been saying that all night. And we've been saying that since, like I said, the whole night. We've been saying that this whole time. And I think that with the Redskins, they expected someone else. I heard that Will Greer had a great interview and a great workout with the Redskins. I also wouldn't be surprised with Drew Luck either.
I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan of him.
I know, but the Redskins might be. That's the thing. A lot of teams have been fans of other players. So I don't know. I want to say Dwayne Haskins, but at the same time, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised with Will Greer.
Yep. Jonathan?
If the Redskins wants to get back to playoff contention, they should draft the winner. And that winner is Dwayne Haskins.
Yep.
He brings that energy, that leadership. Of course, once again, his quarterback IQ is off the charts.
That is true. I was watching.
He has a great arm.
He's a really good arm.
Really good arm.
And
he's a pocket passer.
He's a prototypical starting quarterback.
And he fits within their system. So, once again, by them drafting Dwayne Haskins, he will be a day one starter. Will start on the season opener.
I agree with you. He will be a day one starter if he does get picked, but I think he needs a year or two because of the fact that I just think that transition's hard.
It's hard for every.
Exactly.
It is hard
I mean,
for everybody,
Baker
though.
Mayfield he's good all the time. But I think he will have a great career no matter where he goes. I don't know if he'll start strong, but
Alex Smith obviously had a horrible injury.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, honestly,
it would be interesting to see how
hard to
much
watch.
he takes Haskins if he gets drafted, or even any quarterback that
Well-
under their wing, and see how they develop. I mean, that'd be huge, even if he's out, just to have a presence there.
Yeah, I think Alex Smith's career is unfortunately over, and I hate to say that, but with that type of injury that he suffered, I think it is. So for Alex Smith, I think he should just be a coach there, just take Dwayne Haskins under his wing if that's where they decide to go. I think if they don't take Dwayne Haskins, this is the biggest mistake in the draft. I know we said the Giants. I went off about the Giants, but this is a layup for Washington.
This reminds me of what year did Aaron Rodgers get drafted? Where he slipped
2000,
all the way to Green Bay. This could be the
2005 or
same kind of
something,
situation where he slips all the way down and ends up just at the right team.
Do you think? Actually, the pick is in, but real quick, do you think Dwayne Haskins is a hidden gem in the draft?
Yes, he definitely is. He's definitely a hidden gem in the draft.
a hidden gem. Because Alex Smith, gruesome leg injury. We don't know when he's coming back.
I don't think he will, but good question.
I believe they also had Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy suffered a season-ending injury, and then Mark Sanchez got hurt. Oh no, Mark Sanchez just wasn't that good. That's what happened.
So they're in a dire need of a quarterback. Dwayne Haskins should be that guy, but we'll see. Who else do you think the Redskins need to build their team up?
Do you think they'll go defensive here by chance?
They could go.
They do need a lot, to be honest.
They do need defensive line. Maybe they go with a guy like a Montez Sweat if depending on his issue there.
Apparently it's misdiagnosed. Maybe
if it's misdiagnosed, then he would be a really good pick as well.
So the pick is in. I'm hearing that
Sources.
it could be. Yeah, my sources. That it could be Dwayne Haskins. So,
if that is the case, this is a huge win for the Washington Redskins. I
so
mean,
how
huge.
do you think is he a day one starter? How do you think
I think he's got to be a day one starter because who are you going to start? Are you going to start Colt McCoy? I mean, maybe you start him just to ease Dwayne Haskins in, but why would you do that? Just put in Dwayne Haskins. The Dwayne Haskins era starts now.
Oh, here it is. Goodell's up there.
Like a good old
Roger.
Good old Roger Goodell. Here we go.
Any more thoughts, guys?
I don't know. How's your sources with?
Dwayne Haskins. You know
Yeah,
what?
he's a little birdie in my ear.
like
but
it.
we're
I
gonna,
hope.
Who's that?
Washington just won the draft tonight.
But
They
we're gonna
just
send it,
won
we're
the
actually
draft.
going to send it to the Dwayne Haskins play-by-play. So.
I wonder who did that. I wonder who did those.
Whose man's?
Hi, I'm Anthony Abruzzo, and I'm here to break down Dwayne Haskins, quarterback from Ohio State. Let's get things started. Watch Dwayne Haskins is in a pocket, standing in the shotgun formation. As the play rolls, play action fake, stands in the pocket, but delivers a beautiful throw for a touchdown. As their team celebrates after the touchdown play. Let's move on to the next play. Play action pump fake. Watch him move outside of the pocket with keeping eyes down the field. Makes a beautiful throw for an easy touchdown. As the players get in, and then Dwayne Haskins is going to come in and start celebrating with his teammates. Look at that. Look at that. Great teammates, great work, encouragement. Next play. Dwayne Haskins, already in shotgun formation, stands in the pocket, makes another quick, decisive decision for another touchdown. As we move on to the next play, again, Dwayne Haskins, watch what he does. He steps inside the pocket, delivers a beautiful bullet for a touchdown. As receiver makes a flexing move, here's Dwayne Haskins, best quarterback in this year's NFL draft.
Thank you, Ant, for that play-by-play. We're actually going to send it back to Kyle and Ross. Guys, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the call. Well, let's just talk a little bit about Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins. So, you like the pick?
I absolutely love the pick. Like Ant said, they have won the draft. It was a no-brainer. You need a quarterback. He's probably the best quarterback in the whole draft. You got to go with Dwayne Haskins. A physical specimen that can launch it down the field. Great pick. I'm glad they didn't dolphin it up and just pick the complete wrong person. Shout out to the Redskins, my uncle's favorite team, Uncle Manny. We love you.
Yeah, I have to completely agree. I think the Redskins definitely won the draft with Haskins. Haskins is a great overall choice. He's a steal to still be in the draft this late in the game. And to be honest, the Redskins are set up for the future now. I mean, look at what they've got going. They can now compete in the NFC East, which, for the record, is a stacked division.
Stacked.
And this does nothing but bode them well in the future. And I can't praise that team enough for what they've done.
No, they got potentially the best quarterback in this draft this late. I think it was a great pick. As everyone has said, the IQ was absolutely off the charts with Haskins. You got an arm off the charts, brain off the charts. You can't ask for anything better. Redskins nailed it. Like I said, layup. Let's go Redskins.
Yeah. So
Dolphins
actually,
also.
Our next pick is going to be Carolina Panthers. Ross, what are you thinking? What are you thinking with Carolina?
I mean, Carolina's a team that's been they seem to be lost for the past couple of years. I'm pretty sure a defensive play would help them. I'm not sure a best defensive play. I don't know. Do you have anyone in mind, Kyle?
Honestly, I think Jeffrey Simmons out of Mississippi State, defensive linebacker, I think that would be a really solid choice for Carolina. Again, I'm not confident. I really don't know where Carolina's going with this pick, but Jeffrey Simmons is honestly one of the better players left in the draft, and I think he proves tremendous upside to to just really the team, and I don't see much of a downside here.
Yeah, they kind of need help on both sides of the ball. I just say go with the best player available. Simmons seems to be the best player available. Go with Simmons. I mean, there's no one super stellar left. Haskins was a steal already. I think Simmons would be a good pick.
So I'm just getting now the pick for Carolina Panthers. They have actually chosen Brian Burns out of Florida State. Ross, what do you think?
I mean, overall, good pick. Another great player. Florida State, keep it in state. What do you think about the pick, Kyle?
I think that was pretty smart. Brian Burns has proved he was really the star, the bright spot on that really kind of abysmal season for Florida State. He shows tremendous upside. He's athletic, he's fast, he's great on the edge, which is really Carolina needed that, and they addressed this issue. I think it's a great pick, and I don't see a whole lot else to pick. I think Jeffrey Simmons wouldn't have been bad, but really, I can't complain. I really cannot complain.
No, to have a physical guy coming off the edge could help any team. You got to, at the end of the day, you got to be able to hit the quarterback. Give the quarterback more than 3 seconds, he'll probably be able to get out of his hand and probably get it to where he needs to get it. So a little more pressure off the line definitely could help Carolina in the next season for sure.
So now, where do you think Carolina goes from here after picking him up?
Where do I think they go? I mean, I don't think it's a big enough pick to really cement the offense and defense for the next couple seasons. I mean, defense. I think it's a good pick. It might help them a little, might cement the team, build them all together, but overall, I don't think it's going to be a pick that's going to be a generational talent.
Now, do you think there are any other areas in particular that the Panthers should address in their next couple of picks? Because, again, while Brian Burns is a great pick, there are several issues Carolina needs to address.
I mean, now that they got a defensive player, maybe go for someone on offensive side, maybe an offensive lineman. Probably the best player available is what they should go for. Because overall, like I said, they need help on both sides. So I think best player available helps. I'm sure they have someone in particular they're looking for. Do you have anyone in particular, Kyle?
Honestly, not really. Like I said earlier, I really don't know what Carolina's trying to go for here in this draft. That's, like the Redskins, they've got a tough division, the NFC South. You've got the Saints, obviously.
Yeah.
Falcons, usually good. Obviously, it was a down season for them.
Good until it comes to the big stages.
Right.
Yeah,
so personally, I think Carolina's pretty fine on offense. They've got McCaffrey. They've got Cam Newton, who, when healthy, is, granted, not always consistent. He is a good quarterback when he's healthy. So I think
big if.
Right. So I think the goal for Carolina moving forward is obviously to keep going defense, and honestly, Brian Burns is a fantastic start for that. So I really can't complain.
I think Brian Burns would work out well also. I think that'd be a good pick. Just help him.
Yeah. So up next, the next pick is actually the New York Giants again. This time trade from the Cleveland Browns. What do you think?
Well, they already got the best pick in the draft, in my opinion, Daniel Jones. So at this point, where can you go except for go down? So at this point, it doesn't matter who they really pick. They got the best player. They really killed the first pick, so really excited to see what they do with the second one. I actually have my phone on me. At this point, they could call me. They might want me. I could go defensive end. I played, actually, when I was in 3rd grade, I was the best player on my team. So I think I might get a call. Because if they got Daniel Jones, they could get anyone.
You got some moves.
Yeah,
moves, all right.
Sweet move, right off the line, go around.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I have to agree with you. New York, and they've shown it again here, they've just really struggled with their draft management and selections. I struggle to see how, I don't want to say recover, but they really messed up big time with their first pick.
Yeah, if they were going to get a quarterback, I mean, you had Haskins. Like, why would you even go for anyone else, especially Daniel Jones?
So
we'll see.
Yeah, so really, the surprise factor with them, I have no idea what they're thinking. I have no idea where they're going.
They're unpredictable.
It's probably going to be a bad pick. I don't
like the confidence.
Yeah. But I really couldn't tell you where they're going. It's just that organization is so all over the place right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have a direction except for Saquon Barkley. They said, give the ball to Saquon, see what he could do. Let's see if that's enough, which honestly is pretty good. But, I mean, after you get Daniel Jones, you've got to expect the unexpected with the Giants for sure on this next pick.
Yeah, now personally, I could see offensive linebacker, to be honest, to protect Daniel Jones now. So maybe someone like Dalton Risner out of Kansas State.
I mean, it could work. I mean, if you drafted Daniel Jones, I'm sure you expected him to launch the ball every play, so you might as well have someone to protect him. But, yeah, I think that'd be a good pick. Work it. If you're going to get a young quarterback, obviously he might need more time than a veteran like Eli, because Eli, says 1-2, throw, and let's hope someone catches. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see also Caleb McGarry from Washington. I'm just looking here at the list of offensive linemen.
Yeah, get someone to protect the new guy.
And really, we've kind of brought this up, everyone on the show. New York has a lot of issues, a lot of places they really need to address. Obviously, quarterback was one of those, and they have him.
Yeah, so, they got their guy.
I almost think it would be, I do think it would be silly to not use your next pick in the first round, mind you, on someone who can protect him.
Yeah, you might as well double up. I mean, you got the quarterback, get the guy to protect him for the next upcoming years because, I mean, I'm going to assume Daniel Jones is going to be in the NFL for years and years to come, great player. So, yeah, I think an offensive lineman would work out well. So, can't really complain.
Personally, I like I said, I've said it, offensive linebacker, but really, would it surprise anyone if New York went for wide receiver? Someone like wide receiver or just something completely out of left field? So, I don't know, mate. I just don't trust this organization, so it wouldn't honestly, any position to me could be, feasible. I just really don't know where they go from here.
They have Harry out of Arizona State. He's really known for getting the 50-50 balls, so if you're going to have to launch him and go get him, I think Harry from Arizona State would not be that bad of a pick. If you're not going to go for someone to protect, you might as well go to throw for him. Saquon's obviously going to help Daniel Jones a lot, so I'm sure throwing would not be their first option. So maybe Harry, maybe offensive lineman, I really don't know.
So the Giants pick is actually in. They say the pick is in. Do you have any kind of, last couple of thoughts here?
Well, the Giants, whatever they do, I'm sure they have a plan that no one else would agree with in the whole entire world. So let's see what they do.
Yeah. I'm going to make my official projection.
Let's hear it.
It's difficult.
It's me? Is it me? Am I
I could see you, but I'm gonna have to go with my initial feeling here. Well, no, I'm gonna go Caleb McGarry out of Washington, offensive linebacker out of Washington. I think that's where New York's gonna go. I could be totally off the map here, but we'll see. I mean, you agree, disagree?
I mean, it's really, I can't say I agree or disagree because I really have no clue. I don't have an inkling to really who they would pick, but they need, if that's what they decided in their workouts and their interviews, that's the best guy to protect their quarterback for the future. I could see them going with him, but I have no clue. Hopefully the Giants get this one right. Go 1 for 2. Good shooting percentages.
Yeah, it's actually going to be the pick. I just got word. It's going to be Dexter Lawrence is the pick for the Giants. What do you think?
Dexter Lawrence.
Defensive lineman out of Clemson.
Oh, that's exactly what they needed to protect their new quarterback. Yeah, that really killed that one. Yeah, honestly, 10 out of 10 pick. Giants, you get an A+ from me. If it was for me, I would have called. If they wanted a defensive lineman, Matey Ice football, I played there for a couple of years. I think I was a right pick, and if they have Daniel Jones, they have Ross Bernstein. It's a yin and the yang. You know what I'm talking about.
So Ross, thanks. Your input is always appreciated, man.
Thank you.
I brought it up earlier. We had a pre-recorded segment about the Dolphins pick with Ross here. We're going to go to that over commercial break so y'all can hear what we had to say. And don't fret, when we come back, David Jeffrey makes his much anticipated return to HTF. You guys are not going to want to miss this.
It's a sad day to be a Dolphins fan. After a hot 3-0 start to the season, everything quickly fell apart. And the Dolphins ended the year with a 7-9 record. They fired their head coach. And they are now openly admitting to tanking for this next upcoming season. So here's my proposition. If the Dolphins are going to tank and make me miserable, then they should at least try and do something right.
Well, Ross, it sounds like you got someone in mind. Who are you thinking?
You're right, Kyle. There's a player, better yet, a physical specimen that comes around once a millennium. He comes right here out of Orlando, Florida, and was originally born in Portland, Oregon. He's a player that could honestly pick up any ball and immediately become the best player in that sport. Baseball, you got it. Basketball, you got it. Football, you got it. Even cricket, you betcha.
All right. Ross, just tell us who you got. Come on.
Terrence Ross.
Like Terrence Ross from the Orlando Magic?
The Dolphins needed a franchise player. Someone that could lead the team in the now and in the future. After dominating the NBA year after year, it made sense to me that Terrence Ross could simply cross over to the NFL and continue his reign of dominance. That blend of skill, intelligence, height, and heart, I fully am in support of my king, Terrence Ross, to take over the franchise.
Hi, I'm David Jeffrey, the #1 sports attorney in America, and welcome to Dave's Dank Desk. This is Dave's Dank Desk. Now, tonight is the NFL draft, and your favorite franchise is probably going to break your heart when they reach for a QB that won't pan out. But while you've all been watching baseball and basketball, franchises have been destroying fan morale for the past 2 months. So tonight, we're just going to go over some of the dankest offseason moves. And starting it off, earlier this offseason, the New York Giants sent Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns for the 17th overall pick, a third-round pick, and Jabril Peppers. And now there's only one thing left that can save the Giants franchise, and that's Saquon Barkley's thick thighs. And Robert Stewart, a young Browns fan from Cleveland, screamed so loudly when they heard the news of the trade that the cops were called on him. Now, Robert, I know you're thrilled, but at the end of the day, they're still the Browns, so please give me a call at 888-888-888 crying emoji, and I can pay you handsomely after the Browns ultimately break your heart like they've broken mine. And Jared Goff's reign in LA may be coming to an end. Fresh off a disappointing Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, the Rams went out and made the only move that makes sense, and that signed Blake Bortles. Bortles has a history of winning and can find guys open down the field. It's just sometimes those guys aren't on his team. The man knows how to start off his morning right and is the only QB to beat the Bills in the playoffs this millennium. If you're a Rams fan, send me an email at djeffisick@letsride.com so I can help you out when the Rams ultimately blow it and don't start the boat. And the team that let Bortles go, the Jacksonville Jaguars, signed former Super Bowl MVP quarterback Nick Foles to a 4-year, $88 million deal. Now, my fellow Duval fans, I know this seems like a great move, but signing a 30-year-old quarterback will not fix the fact that Leonard Fournette can't fight. But there was another Super Bowl winning quarterback who could have, and he runs the Philly special a whole lot better than Foles. But Jags fans, I know this isn't your fault, so if this grinds your gears, hit my kick at David Jeffrey is cute. And the Los Angeles Chargers, they signed free agent god Tyrod Taylor to a 2-year, $11 million deal. And let's start off with the obvious flaw here. The Chargers' high school stadium simply isn't big enough to hold the amount of people that are going to flock to see this man play. But now he's also stuck behind Phillip Rivers, who's apparently never going to stop playing football. And Tyrod's also done one thing that no active QB in the NFL has, and that's take the Bills to the playoffs. And he did it despite his tackle being Jordan Mills. Your favorite QB could never. And the fact that he's not starting is the crime of the century, probably. The NFL will be feeling the full wrath of Dave's dank injunctions. And if you want to be spared from this, hit up my Twitter at DaddyJeffreyForJustice. And the Oakland Raiders, they acquired Antonio Brown from the Steelers for a 3rd and 5th round pick. This came just days after it was rumored he was on his way to Buffalo. Now, before we get into this, Buffalo fans, you're banned from using my services. I hope you're all sad. But the biggest takeaway from this one is that we're just one Derek Carr injury away from seeing Antonio Brown catch passes from the prodigal son, the sweet prince, Nate Peterman. You never want to see your player go down. So John Gruden, do the right thing here. You've already traded away your best players. Just what's one more? We all want to see some sweet TDs from NP to AB. Give the people what they want. Do you want to make the playoffs or not? So Raiders fans, send me a letter at P.O. Box 3006, Wallington, Connecticut. Just make sure it's dressed to ShamWow or I'm not going to get it. And finally, Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski retired after 9 NFL seasons. Joining me now on the set live to talk about the retirement and his sick retirement party is my financial advisor and ordained minister, Malik Stones.
How's it going today, Dave?
It's doing all right.
All right, well then, quick update, by the way, about that party. It's been canceled, actually. Seismic Energies from the Fourth Dimension created a time vortex that obliterated the bean casserole I made for the event. It's a great loss. Spent a lot of time making an 87 with the beans. Anyway, I don't blame the retirement on Gronk or Belichick or even questionable craft. No, this goes to the higher-ups of the NFL world. Goodell is at it again with his lies and slander as usual. He fed our golden child fallacy straight into his mind utilizing government secret telepathy technology, such as your injuries are impeding on your health, and you've had a great career end it now while you're on top. And even CTE puts you at serious risk for a multitude of later challenges in life. Now I refuse to believe that my adopted son couldn't play for another 10 plus years. I have done the research, realized it was all fabricated by members of the left-wing media, and come to the ultimate conclusion. Time is just a human construct, and NFL players could play until they were 360 years old. Why? Because age doesn't actually exist if time doesn't either. Thank you, Dave.
Adopted son. It's interesting.
You know, it was really great. We found him in Uganda. He was quite a beautiful child when I first saw him, but you know, I'm actually younger than him. So, but time is just a construct. So.
It's just a construct. And that's all the time we have today on Dave's Dank Desk. If there's anything else you want us to talk about or you have a review of Natural Light's new Natter Days, hit me at any of the contacts above. And remember, if you feel like you've been wronged by your favorite team, call me at 888-888-888 crying emoji, and I can get you the money that you deserve. This is Dave's Dank Desk.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans. I read it every morning so I can be in the know.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though, I want them to see the hole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more. He's out. The takes are fresh.
by sports supporters and Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog for all your sports stuff.
Hitting the field.
Hi, I'm Dave Jeffrey, attorney at law. Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Dave would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Derp-de-derp.
Welcome back to the HTF Dash Show. I am joined by Abruzzo, Jeremy Brener, Connor Dowd, and Tyler Furman. How you guys doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
Good.
Doing all right.
It's been a crazy night.
Crazy night.
Yeah.
Crazy night. But we won one.
I'm told that the Vikings picked Garrett Bradbury, center.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about that?
Safe pick.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Okay.
pick. They needed offensive line, and they need that was an area of need for them. Probably one of their biggest areas of need, and I think they fulfilled that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so too. I think it was definitely a safe pick, and it was also a good pick. They definitely needed offensive lineman. Kirk Cousins was pressured a lot last season. He's their most prized possession for the Vikings right now. He just signed a 3-year, $84 million contract. That's all guaranteed. So you have to protect your most valued asset. So it was it was a good pick.
All right, Connor, first time tonight on the set. How you feeling, man? And what's your thoughts?
I'm feeling pretty good. Draft day is pretty crazy. The Giants have had some okay picks so far. I like this pick. Kirk Cousins obviously needs some protection, and I think it's good to go offense early because the Vikings defense is pretty good, pretty sound already, and it was a really good pick.
Tyler, what do you think?
Can't go wrong with an offensive lineman to protect your big money guys. So safe pick, good pick.
Well, I'm also hearing a rumor that the Cardinals and the Dolphins are involved in trade talks. Involving
Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen.
Really?
He needs a new home.
He does need a new home now.
Yep, Kyler Murray took up that space that he had before, and he's not a little QB battle, but
It's funny when we started hearing these Kyler Murray rumors going to the Cardinals. We all talked about it on the group chat, right? Where we think we go.
Yeah.
What was the first team that we said? The Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins.
But does the Dolphins go and get Rosen now, or do they?
Well,
suck and
I don't
get
think they
Tua
have to.
next year?
Listen, do they have to give up a first-round pick for him now? Probably not.
They don't have a first
They
round.
don't have a
pick to give
first-round
him.
pick, so
The Cardinals
could be good.
The Cardinals are by every minute Josh Rosen is still on the Cardinals, they lose leverage, and it's just going to continue. And now that they have Kyler, obviously Josh Rosen is 99% not going to be with the Cardinals next year. So you got to find a new home for him. Miami makes a lot of sense as they passed up on Haskins, they passed up on Drew Lock. Drew Lock's still on the board. Maybe you could see the Dolphins trade back into this first round, maybe. Who knows? But, it's been weird. We're at pick number 19, and we've only seen one trade tonight.
Right.
The Steelers gave up their second. They're about to pick again, the 20th pick. Maybe Drew Lock goes 20th to the Broncos
Denver
here.
will pick. Yeah, Denver will pick at 20,
where they were supposed to pick at 10, and they gave up a third for next year. A very risky pick, I think. But I think Pittsburgh got their guy in Devin Bush. And who knows? Maybe this could be good for the Broncos that are about to pick up here in a couple picks. So, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we've only seen one trade so far. But I guarantee we will probably see at least one, maybe two more.
Well, I'm told that the Tennessee Titans to pick us in, and I'm told it's Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Good pick.
That's a good pick.
Tore his ACL, but now I think he's good. A lot of scouts say that he's better than Montrezl Sweat. They played on the same team. Simmons tore his ACL, but if he can recover,
he'll be a very good player down the future.
Well, Montez Sweat's still on the board too. He could have easily gone this pick. The Titans have had, they got Rashaan Evans last year, so they have this tendency of picking the best guy available, regardless of position.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a decent pick for them here. They can really shore up that defensive line. That Jarrell Casey. Maybe slide him right next to him. That is a dangerous duo right there. I'm scared for my Texans because they got to play him twice a year. We don't have to play him until late December this year, but that is a scary duo, and the teams will be. It'll be very hard for teams to run against the two of them.
When did he tear his ACL? In February, right? Of
January, I believe.
January. So, do we really see him playing this year? I mean, or are they gonna make it safe and probably just
guy.
Yeah. Probably not early in the season. I don't think
he's going to play early. If he plays, it's going to be towards the end of the year.
They definitely don't want to rush him back.
No, you wouldn't. You don't want to rush him back over an injury like that, especially in his first year as a rookie.
Especially how good he was too before.
Yeah, I mean he was really good.
Yeah, the Titans are in a weird position where they can just kind of do anything because they have good skill positions. They have good receivers. They have good linemen. They have good secondary. They got Adoree Jackson last year, who's probably really good at the 20th pick, which is right here. But so yeah, they went with their best player on their board, and it was Jeffrey Simmons, and I think it was a good pick.
Real quick, how does Jeffrey Simmons help the Tennessee Titans? I know they came, I know they were just in the playoffs, quick exit, but how does that help them play the playoff push for next season?
That's a tough division.
I mean, he's gonna have to create pressure for the quarterback, get to the running backs. I mean, but it's gonna be hard to tell. He's got to come back from his ACL injury first. I think that's the main thing first. But they drafted him based on potential.
This is definitely not a we need him right now guy. This is definitely planning for the future with the ACL tear and everything.
In an AFC South that's pretty competitive already, I think he's going to add some good depth for late season. If they can make a run in the postseason, I think it could be big.
Now we have the Denver Broncos on the clock with the 20th pick. They just traded the pick. They traded down. What do you think the Broncos are thinking right now?
I mean, I would say corner here, right? I would say maybe Greedy Williams here because here's the thing: Chris Harris he's looking for a contract or he's looking to get traded. So you need to find somebody that's going to replace Chris Harris first of all. Secondly, they lost Bradley
Roby
to your Texans, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if they lose Chris Harris, right? So if he gets traded, you're going to need a new corner. So Greedy Williams could be the pick right here.
I mean, they did send Bradley Roby out, but they did get ex-Texan, Kareem Jackson. But Jackson showed signs last year of being a better safety. They signed him to a lot of money too. And corners, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've seen a corner go yet.
Nope.
So there's a lot of those guys. We thought, maybe there could be 5 or 6 guys 5 or 6 corners that could have gone here in this first round. And we've seen 0 so far, which is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, Greedy Williams still on the board. DeAndre Baker's still on the board. So many.
Rock Ya-Sin
has been climbing
he's underrated.
The best name in the draft.
Byron Murphy.
Yeah,
Byron Murphy out of Washington. I know you want him to go right here, Tyler. But I think corner and also quarterback. Drew Lock makes a lot of sense, but I think that Denver clearly was strategic in this. They had a feeling that they could have gotten this guy. They didn't need this guy at 10. Maybe they had this guy waiting all along, and now they're finally at a position where the value is there and they can take the guy that they've always wanted.
Which is why I think it could end up being Greedy Williams out of LSU.
I think it might be Drew Lock here. Because Joe Flacco, obviously they just signed him to a huge contract, probably one that he didn't need. He's only got a couple of years left that I think that are going to be his best years, and I think picking Locke would be big. He's from Missouri, 6'4". John Elway loves tall quarterbacks. He's stuck in the 1980s with his style of offense. So we'll see what happens. But they could definitely get Greedy Williams and get a surefire guy on defense.
Yeah, I know you guys mentioned that a cornerback hasn't been drafted yet. If Broncos don't draft Greedy Williams, where could he go?
You know where I want Greedy Williams to go? To my Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay,
because
give me a reason why.
Here's why. Because the Eagles secondary, trash, right? They got shredded last year, so many injuries. I think the Eagles desperately need a corner. If Greedy Williams could get to 25, wow. The Eagles could be that team. I'm telling you, man, it's a possibility.
Hey, but you got my Texans at 23, also in dire need of a corner.
Yeah, man.
I think Greedy Williams should be going in the next couple picks here.
Look out for Seattle,
if he doesn't go here, Seattle is another team that could take him.
Yeah.
If they don't trade out.
Yeah, I mean, Greedy Williams has not much waiting time left. He'll know where he's going in a couple.
Yeah, after the Broncos is your Seattle Seahawks, and then there's the Ravens, the Texans, and the Oakland Raiders, and the Eagles. So he could go any of those teams right there. Talking about the Broncos, what do you expect for them next season? Like, they just got Joe Flacco.
Here's the thing. I mean, they're going up against Kansas City next year with Pat Mahomes, and then you still got the LA Chargers, who's still really good. So I mean, I think Denver's going to be another rebuild year. I mean, I know you get Joe Flacco, but how much is he going to change that offense? I don't know. So for me, Denver could possibly finish like third. I mean, have a race with the Raiders to not finish last, but I don't see him doing much next year.
Yeah, it's
another subpar year.
Yeah, it's a very competitive division. I think the Chiefs are going to win it. They should, at least, if everything holds true. And I think the Chargers can make some noise just like they did last season.
You think, Connor? I mean, excuse me.
No, yeah, I think Kansas City and the Chargers have that division on lock. I think the Chargers' defense will improve tremendously next year with Derwin and Bosa there. And their offense, I mean, they have Phillip Rivers. And then how much can you talk about the Chiefs with Mahomes? They have a couple questions now with Tyreek Hill in question. But I think another subpar year for the Broncos is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Which makes a lot of sense that they traded down because they can get more picks. They have an extra second. They got a third next year. I think it's they're looking for a rebuild now, which I'm looking real. It's looking real. You know, they're rebuilding, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and I'm told the pick is in, guys. Who do you think the Broncos picked up?
It's a lock. I guess on lock.
Lock?
Ant, you know?
Ant.
I do know. I'm gonna just let the pick go. I'm gonna let you guys find out what it is.
Find out?
Yeah, you guys
really got to do this to us.
Keep us on edge.
No, because when you find out what the pick is gonna be,
it's probably Greedy Williams.
No, it's not.
It's Ant.
It's me. It's me. I'm gonna be drafted by the Broncos. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna celebrate. This and that.
It might be Ross.
I hope it's not Montrezl Sweat. I hope it's not Montrezl Sweat.
You know what? Maybe it could be Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross.
Oh
my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This pick, you're gonna be shocked by this pick.
I mean, Ant, come on. You don't want to tell us just a little spoilers.
It's on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh.
Okay.
It's on the offensive side of the ball. It's not quarterback.
You know who might know? Ant and Dave Jeffrey.
Is it Josh Jacobs?
Ooh.
Oh, Ant. Okay, I will say this.
I am told
Ant is in this
a little birdie told me in my ear is Noah Fant.
Noah Fant, good pick.
Fant from Iowa. Noah Fant from Iowa.
2 Iowa tight ends taken first round.
Hey, Ant. Noah Fant. Yeah. There you go.
I mean, we all knew that Iowa, is a tight end university.
This year they are.
George Kittle, came from Iowa.
Very true.
I mean, I guess Jake Butt didn't work out for Denver, did he? Damn.
You know what I'm thinking?
But hey, now they have another Denver tight end. Iowa tight end.
I'm thinking Patriots wanted a tight end this draft. You think they could trade 32 to get Rosen?
The Patriots get Rosen?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting take right there. I like that.
I mean,
because
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady isn't getting any younger.
But how long is he going to be in the league?
Look at who's their backup quarterback, Brian Hoyer. You think he's going to take over for the future? No.
I'm just saying they have a first-round pick that the Cardinals
and
want.
I will say this.
And they were looking for tight ends.
I will say this.
Already.
The Patriots really liked Rosen last year. Mm-hmm. They really wanted to trade into the top 10. There were some rumors about that.
Well, guys, I'm going to cut you off right here because, we're actually going to a commercial break. So stay tuned.
Go Seahawks.
Good job, guys.
That's it?
That's it.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week. So you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball.
Yeah. God. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball. Good morning, fellas, except for Andre.
KG in the building.
James Harden's a stat pack.
That is right, you're right.
He's the best scorer.
He has 120 straight points. Bro, 120 straight points now. He doesn't pass.
All right, let's do this. Let's get down to business, guys.
He's still got Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, and them boys. Come on now. What about Carl?
Tom Brady is the son.
Facts. I think it's kind of special, though.
What? What are you talking about, man? Crazy, man. Don't ever say that. This is your dad. What are you talking about?
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys,
mad.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been in the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been in the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
Hi, I'm Dave Jeffrey, attorney at law. Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. At the same time, I knew my boy Davey would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate Jaret Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah. That's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Derp-de-derp.
Welcome back to Hitting the Field. I'm Jaret Kappelman back, and I'm now joined by Tyler Fellerman, who's a Seahawks fan, which we have some tough news that the Seahawks have done what you didn't want to do and traded out of that. What do you have to say?
It's not surprising. I mean, we traded Frank Clark, got the 29th pick. So trade one of those picks, get a second rounder. Hopefully, I have not seen the details of the pick, but we have no pick in the second round. Hopefully, we got one.
So let's break. I mean, who do you think the Packers are going to get now? What did the Packers want? They jumped the gun right away.
They could go offensive lineman. I mean, Jawan Taylor is still on the board. Jonathan Abram, a hard-hitting safety, could get picked after to replace HaHa Clinton Dix.
Who they did trade for a fourth round. So their 2014 first round went for a fourth round last year. I don't think we're going to see any offensive side weapons.
No wide
for
receiver,
them.
I don't believe. They're pretty good there.
I think they're set with Aaron Jones at running back.
I could see offensive line. I mean, I'm
Protect
surprised Jawan
Rodgers.
Taylor has slipped this far.
I do like that, Jawan Taylor. So let's talk about the Seahawks. You know, they still have another pick later in the first round. What are you thinking there now, since they're comfortable maybe getting their guy at 29?
I was hoping Montrezl Sweat at this 21st pick. Now I'm not really sure. 29, we could get hopefully a DB. Byron Murphy's still on the board, straight out of Washington himself. So,
you know, we can recreate the Legion of Boom era. You know, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, that era. I hear the Packers pick is in. I would be shocked if it was anything other than an offensive lineman or a DB. I really don't know.
Maybe there's not really a lot of linebackers I would take off the board here.
I mean, if you would look, I think Jawan Taylor might be just.
Andre Dillard from Washington State, maybe. I'm
Andre
thinking
Dillard.
offensive lineman or defensive back.
I think their focus needs to be protecting Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
We all know that he broke his collarbone 2 seasons ago. Last season, he played the whole year with a knee injury. He was not 100%. I think their priority is Aaron Rodgers, getting Aaron Rodgers healthy, making sure that he is their guy. Realistically, though, I want to jump right back over to the Seahawks. They just sent this whole contract for Russell Wilson. Why are they not looking to draft some offensive linemen to protect him?
Maybe. I think they could be. I think their main focus is defensive linemen or offensive linemen. Maybe they traded back. I mean, they have the 29 pick. Maybe they think they can get their offensive lineman there. Jawan Taylor, as I said many times, is still on the board. They've got Andre Dillard on the board still. If they don't see anybody behind them taking an offensive lineman, they could definitely go and take one comfortably at 29.
All right, and I'm now hearing that the Packers pick is in, and they did select Darnell Savage from Maryland.
Okay. Oh, I actually do like that pick. He is a ball hawk. He reminds me a lot of Earl Thomas. I was thinking for the Seahawks too. I have Jonathan Abram ranked above him. I have no idea why.
So the Seahawks did get the 30th, and
pick?
2 4th rounds.
Okay. So they have the 29th and the 30th.
Now they do.
Oh, wow. I like that a lot.
That makes it interesting. It's kind of like fantasy snake draft. You get your 2 players in a row that you want. Now I believe Baltimore is going to be on the clock next, but I'm hearing that the Eagles traded up, which if you remember last year with the 32nd pick, the Eagles traded to the Baltimore Ravens, so it's a little bit of reverse, and I'm kind of excited. I think this is the moment we go and get Greedy Williams
This is your team now.
Some sort of
Turn
defensive
the tables.
back.
Turn the tables.
I just really want a defensive back. That's really it. If it's not a defensive back, I will probably cry on set.
Are you thinking more corner or safety?
I'm thinking corner because I'm tired of watching Mills and Darby get burned.
Byron Murphy.
Byron Murphy,
Washington.
Greedy Williams. One of those two, I'll probably riot, and they're going to cut back to this camera, and I won't be here. But for now, let's send it over to Anthony Abruzzo, my fellow Eagle fan, to get his input.
All right, Jared, thanks for standing back. And as we heard, the Ravens did trade the pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, you know how excited I am. I'm really excited. So here I'm joined by Kyle Graham, Mark Tavilla, Jessica Herman for the first time, and Andre Rodriguez for the first time. So, guys, what do we think about the Eagles trading up, and who do we think we're going to take here? Who do we think the Eagles get here?
You know I'm a big Eagles fan. Fly
Eagles
Mafia.
Huge fan.
Any pick they take, I'm gonna be happy with because I trust my team, my secondary team, my 2 years ago Super Bowl champs team. So whatever they pick.
That was a hot take by you.
Yeah. 2 years ago they won the Super Bowl.
So
I know.
That was definitely a hot take
that they won the Super Bowl.
Right, that's what I'm saying though, and he called it out of all people.
All right, so the Eagles with the 22nd pick. Obviously, the Eagles need a corner. I've been saying this all night long. I'm going to say it again. Greedy Williams. That's why they're trading up for this pick. They're going to get Greedy Williams. Mark, what are your thoughts on that?
Actually, I have a point. So it was kind of crazy how Greedy Williams started off as supposed to be a top 10 pick, and then he kind of had a really bad combine and just slipped to the late first round, or possibly. Yeah. So I mean, it's a big steal. He's really good.
Yeah, Andre.
I was gonna say the same thing about Greedy, but hey, whatever happens, it couldn't be a worse pick than Miami's. So.
Could have picked Daniel Jones.
I was going to say, it could be like the Giants, but anyways, it's none of my business. I think a lot of depth to the team. Shout out to Connor. How you doing? How do you feel about me saying a lot of depth to the team?
I mean, the Eagles barely have any depth at the cornerback position as it is, so I think Connor kind of set you up in a bad spot. But maybe,
he will be the start of that. He will be the start of the depth the Eagles need.
It's I don't think he realized that the Eagles are going to trade up to the 22nd pick.
Tell me.
So I think the Eagles needed a secondary. Their secondary was completely destroyed last year. Greedy Williams had come in. He had 8 interceptions for LSU last year. That led the SEC. He's a ball hawk. He's a guy who's going to come in. He's played in big-time games before. I think Greedy Williams is going to come in. He's going to give the Eagles that much-needed depth, and I think the Eagles just get better tonight.
So last year in the draft, we had a moment where a tight end was picked. Shout out to Carl Max.
Yeah.
Carl Max.
Wouldn't it just be wouldn't it just be just sweet and ironic if they just drafted Irv Smith and just ruin your dreams?
That'd be so sick.
I would walk off the set because we don't need a tight end. We have Zach Ertz. We got Dallas Goedert. I mean, we don't need a tight end. So please don't do that to me.
That's why it would just be rich.
I think another player that Eagles could potentially get is a Marquise Brown from Oklahoma.
He's also hurt though.
He's hurt though, but I think
he should be a first round pick.
There's been rumors that the Eagles could potentially trade Nelson Aguilar. And so the Eagles could use another receiver, so that could be a potential option. Mark, any thoughts?
My thoughts?
You're deep in thought.
Yeah, you're deep in thought right now.
Going back to about the whole Hayden Hurst thing, the fiasco. I don't know. I think there's been a lot of each year. There's always been this just singular focused hate on one person this year. And who knows? What if our Senior Bowl MVP Daniel Jones actually
I mean, y'all hate on Josh Allen.
Yeah, you hate on Josh Allen.
Yeah. So I was told that the Eagles traded a 4th and a 6th round pick to go up to 3 spots.
So if they got Irv Smith, you'd be really mad.
I would walk off the set. I swear to you.
Wood was added to the fire.
I'd walk up to the set.
You could have the videos side by side of you and Carl.
Why not?
Same face.
That's what we'd have no choice but
same
to do that.
motion.
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
I'm tripping out now. I'm like, who are we gonna get?
Who are we gonna get? My Eagles.
Andre, if it's not Greedy Williams, who do you think?
I mean, like, since we're here.
Honestly, since I just came from Glass, kind of a little bit behind on.
You should be up to date.
Figure it out.
Phone's on 1%. I'm depressed.
Oh, so you're on your phone.
Dolphins.
Wow.
Oh, just because of Dolphins. Not because I was actually
okay,
depressed.
right,
I'm not depressed. Not depressed like that.
You've got to be kidding me. I can't. I'm about to walk off the set.
You really think it's gonna happen?
No way. No way.
I'll trip out.
Oh my God.
It's not him. It's not him.
But it's not Greedy though.
It's not Greedy though.
I wish I would have
I
thought
can't
that.
believe this. I can't.
Tell us your thoughts, Ant.
Daniel.
Andre Dillard is going to be the pick.
Well, it's because you said my name last. It just happened. Just
that's
meant to be.
I can't believe
You
this.
said Andre, and
Why?
Ooh.
Just why?
What if
I
they
don't
lied to
get
you?
this.
What if they lied to you?
one thing I know is
I
that guy
hope
has
they
a great
did. I
name.
hope they lied to me. No, this is not good. I can't believe this.
You gave up draft picks for Andre Dillard?
So we traded a 4th and a 6th round pick for an
I would give
offensive
it the world
lineman.
for anybody named Andre.
Wait, they're cheering.
Andre
They're
Dillard.
cheering.
They're cheering.
Wow.
I would too.
Jared's so disappointed.
Are you gonna cry? What does this mean? So what does this mean that they have now picked Dillard?
This means that Carson Wentz is more protection. All right, you know
More
what this means.
protection.
This means this
right.
man.
I mean, Mark is right.
Look,
Mark is right.
Look, we talked about it before, and I said this before earlier on in the show. It's not a bad thing to take up an offensive lineman. I know people think that you might be wasting a pick for certain things. I think there might be there's other portions of the team that you can try to fill, but I do think that a quarterback like Carson Wentz needs the protection after his big injury, and he's going to have to understand that he can play out of the pocket, but he's not going to be able to do what he was doing that season he was going off, that he was the best quarterback in the league. He's got to have the protection, and the more people they can throw in front of him to stop anybody from hurting him again, then I think it's only going to set up the Eagles even better.
I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, the Eagles do need, you have to protect Carson Wentz, but like when you have Greedy Williams on the board for 22, you desperately need a secondary. Why not just take Greedy Williams? I understand you got to protect Carson Wentz, but really, out of all things, you got to take.
But you have to
Andre
think about it.
Dillard.
You have to protect your assets.
I mean,
I get that. But our secondary is so
But right now, as a fan,
right now.
you're looking at it upset. But like in the long run, it's like wow, like it costs. It costs.
The boy gained 75 pounds from his freshman year. I think he prepared to play in the NFL and to basically support a quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's gonna be
75 pounds. Ugh, gross.
Steroids?
No comment.
With a name like Andre, he must be a great guy.
Yeah, must be taking notes, boy.
Oh my God.
Wait, it's changed his name now, right?
All right, we're going to send things back over to Jared and Tyler.
Well, I don't know if I've ever been so disappointed in my life before. That's up there, honestly. I don't even know where to start. Like, I think we're fine offensively. Like,
it's not a bad player.
It's not. No, that's not the thing. That's the misconception. It's not a bad player. I just think it's a bad pick. I don't think the offensive line is a main issue. We have the best left tackle in the league in Lane Johnson. Right tackle, wherever you want to put him. We don't really need another offensive lineman. I really think the whole aspect of the game was defensive backs. We got torched by the Saints in the regular season. We got torched by the Rams. Were down 21 and they almost came back. Why? Because they started throwing deep balls and torching our defense. Every single time, it's the same guys getting hurt. We had wide receivers playing corner at one point last season. I'm just upset. Really, I really think we need defensive backs, corners. Eagles hit my line. I can play it. Honestly, I'm just absolutely mind blown. And for what it cost too, like 25th and 2/4 or whatever, it's just we could have got that. I think we could have got that at 25. Honestly, I didn't see the reason to trade. But I guess everything comes full circle. We traded last year with the Ravens. They trade us back.
Also, not one cornerback has been taken off the board yet.
That hurts me.
You could always hop back in. Second round. There's always second round.
All right. Well, that's all I have for now, and we're going to send it back over to Anthony Abruzzo to close this one out.
All right. Thank you, Jared. All right. Now Houston's on the board with the number 23 overall pick. Guys, who do we think Houston could go to?
So we were just discussing, and I know the Texans are definitely looking for a tackle, so they might go offensive line here. But thinking about that, it's probably great that the Eagles actually trade up because it actually makes it worth it. Because if the Texans were going to draft them, then at least you didn't waste picks.
Yeah. I mean, I think is Jawan Taylor still on the board?
He is. It's wild.
How is he still on the board? I think that should be the next pick.
I mean, you
for
guys could
Houston.
have just saved your draft picks.
I know we should have just saved our draft picks to gotten Jawan Taylor if that's what we're gonna go with.
They need to get you in headquarters, Ant. I'll send some emails. I got you.
You got me?
I got you, dog.
You have all the sources.
I got you, dog.
Yeah. All right, Andre, give me your thoughts on Houston's pick. What do you think we should go with?
What would you do if they took Greedy?
Ooh.
I know they won't, but
I don't know. No, they do need. No, they also need a corner as well, though.
Yeah, but it's not to the point where I don't think I'd be surprised.
I wonder who the first wide receiver is going to be.
Do you think a receiver could be taken right here at 23?
No, I don't.
Because
there's too much left. Like there's too like best available wise. There's a lot like left.
Yeah, I don't think
over.
it will be.
It would be
Wide receiver's
honestly dumb.
It's not the pressing need right now. They could pick one up for depth later, but not in the first round. I don't think so.
I just think it's funny that there hasn't been really any wide receiver that's really been picked.
No receiver, no running back yet.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is still on the board. Maybe the Raiders could take him.
Yeah, I've seen the Raiders. Maybe.
There's always a sleeper right now, though. You know what I mean? Someone always comes out of nowhere, and you're like, well, didn't the Giants do that? That's what you got.
But I mean, I feel like everybody's dropping. Like at this point, like, I mean, it sounds crazy, but Dwayne Haskins second round, like.
So Nick's in the building, and he's a Giants fan, and he's very upset.
I didn't even realize I said that too. And
he's giving us some signs that I cannot say.
It's very explicit.
Not kid friendly.
Very kid friendly.
No comment.
They're not G-rated.
Christian UCF Nicholson studio. Here.
Yeah, not in our studio.
Not in our studio.
The face of hitting the field.
Yes. No, but.
Oh man. Give me your thoughts on Houston.
I don't know.
Well, actually, look. Deshaun Watson was sacked NFL high 62 times, so I think
looks like the pick is in for Houston. Yeah. So they have made a selection.
Diller was going to be probably the pick.
I guarantee you it's Juwan Taylor.
Yeah, it's got to be Juwan Taylor.
Yeah, because they're probably looking for Diller.
They were probably looking for Diller. The Philadelphia Eagles saw that. They traded up a couple spots up. And here comes Roger Goodell as he makes his way to the podium.
It's going to be another 10 minutes, though. So.
Yeah,
we got to get the play-by-play here.
Play-by-play.
Announcement. Here comes the announcement. Roger Goodell announces that
Grant.
It's going to be
Titus Howard.
Titus Howard.
Not offensive tackle.
Alabama State.
Offensive tackle from Alabama State.
Offensive.
Wow.
Who?
Wow.
You know, who is he?
Who's man?
You know,
I mean,
whose man is that?
He's probably good, but like I didn't expect him to be a first round. I don't want to disrespect Titus. I'm sorry.
You know, the longer this draft goes, like
he looks pretty big.
The more like
big guy.
happy I am. Like I'm not happy, but the Dolphins could have made a better decision. But everybody else is making terrible decisions.
Look,
so.
he played quarterback and tight end in high school. It's awesome.
No, Wilkins. I liked Wilkins, but I mean
versatile.
Wilkins was a good pickup by the Dolphins.
But you don't have to watch him tank for a whole season. It's just
Fitzmagic. Relax. You're gonna get 6 wins.
He's gonna get us 6 wins. We're not gonna be able to tank for Tua. He's gonna ruin the whole.
You're not gonna tank. That's a sad. That's a sad part.
Like we should have gotten Haskins.
All I'm saying is that, and I'll keep saying it, lineman is the most coachable position that you can possibly put in. So it's like, I think for one thing, like we said with the stat before about Deshaun, man's the most sacked quarterback.
Yeah.
NFL.
He
needs to. They need an offensive line.
So you need an offensive line, but why not take Jawan Taylor? Is there something wrong? There's got to be something with Jawan Taylor's wife.
It's that greediness of a lesser known school.
Deceptively athletic.
He's a fundamentalist from Alabama State instead of a guy from UF.
Well, UF's trash, right?
Yeah, but it's a Power 5 school though.
Oh, who cares? Power 5's weak.
Okay.
But it's definitely getting more like.
We didn't accept
their offer. Who's going out to watch this guy from Alabama State? Who's going like?
Apparently someone.
Like they must. Like how many was he? Like honestly.
Okay, let's move on to the Raiders. You have the 24th pick. This is the pick where they got from Khalil Mack. Now a lot of people.
Definitely worth it.
Was it definitely worth it? I don't know. So here's the thing. Their 4th overall pick. They took Clinton Farrell from Clemson. We all were pretty shocked about that.
That was kind of weird.
So who do we think the Raiders take here?
Probably Josh Jacobs.
I think Josh Jacobs is the best fit here. They definitely need a running back. Marshawn Lynch just retired. He's from Alabama. I think this would be a great pick for the Raiders.
They could do a wide receiver too. They do have the 27th pick, so like who knows?
They could probably do receiver at 27. Probably they trade Amari Cooper for the 27th pick. Why not just turn him into a receiver?
Yeah, take a really good wide receiver. And just,
You need to find some pieces for Derek Carr in general. Just I don't know if he's. Hopefully he can get back to the way he was prior to. He was kind of coming in like a Matthew Stafford, like comeback king that one season, and then he just kind of dropped off.
He got hurt, so.
Yeah, so it's tough, and hopefully we can see him come back. But if they can fill up that offense with some better pieces and a running back or a wide receiver like Josh Jacobson, I think it could be worth it in the end.
Andre, what are your thoughts on?
Wait, so this is the pick that they traded
For
that they got for Klimek?
Klimek,
So,
yeah.
my actually question, I feel like first, is this? Do you think they have to get like who they pick here? If it's not comparable to like in the future to Khalil Mack, like it's obviously a lot like loss. Like there's a lot of pressure. I mean, I feel
How many
like
first-round picks they get?
They got 2 first-round picks for him.
I feel like it's still a lot of pressure.
Like it is. They have to hit on this pick.
Like and like you said, I mean, Josh Jacobs would be great, but it's like looking in the long run, it's like
you can't get another Khalil Mack like that, dude.
I know, but even like Josh Jacobs, he's gonna have to be like.
Yeah, either
really
way,
good.
I think you can always look at this, and that's just Josh Jacobs is just unreal. Like, it's more or less, you're just going to probably think it's, like, wasn't worth it.
Gruden is all about, the man wants to be able to develop his own system. He's a very prideful kind of coach. I think he thinks he's got to go his own way, so he's going to, I mean, I don't know how that's going to transfer. I mean.
You have to also remember that Mike Mayock is also taking over as the GM, so he's the one that's actually going to be in charge of making the picks. And I know he's got a great relationship with John Gruden.
I'll tell you what, man. I can tell you that Derek Carr, Johnny Manziel, Blake Bortles.
This is kind of a turn, but they could also go offensive line here because I mean they have a pretty aging offensive line. I mean, like why not? Like,
well, they just signed. They signed somebody this offseason to the offensive line.
I love that guy.
I love that guy
too.
too.
You love that guy, yeah.
Favorite jersey number.
Nice.
Yeah. Great.
Still got 3 minutes.
Talk to me about Josh Jacobs' game. What do you think he could potentially add to the Raiders?
What doesn't he add? I mean, he's fast. He's honestly. They were saying it on First Take this morning. I mean, not that First Take is a great source of anything for sports.
How dare you? Whoa, I'm down there.
Sorry. He's kind of like Derek. He's built kind of like Derrick Henry, but just a little bit. Derrick Henry. No, not Derrick Henry. Trent Richardson. He's like built like the way he. And that's the worry. It's like
Trent Richardson. American football star Trent Richardson.
Like physical attributes wise, it's
AAF?
like Trent Richardson, but you're gonna end up like him. Like I don't know. Like he's the whole package, but it's like we saw with Trent Richardson. Sometimes that's not enough. So I don't know.
You know, he said he's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. He still has time.
He said that quote?
Yeah, he did.
Who said that?
And I quote.
Oh, that's not great.
I mean, the AAF, he was doing well. You know,
Might be like a small tent for the AAF for a Hall of Fame or something like that, and just have his name just on like a whiteboard.
Hall of Fame.
So
on a whiteboard.
We got robbed of the championship. I'm so upset.
No, I think the Orlando Pirates were declared AAF champions.
Were they?
If history tells us.
I'm tired of that. I want a real championship.
If history is anything, I mean, since he's an Alabama running back, I mean, he won't be exploding on the scene too quickly. I mean, probably take a few seasons or never. Trent Richardson's case.
Interesting though. There is a lot of running backs that are pretty decent in like the second or third round.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see who goes. I like Devin Singletary a lot.
Devin Singletary's good.
He's quick. That boy's quick.
That guy, he's a man.
You can use him in a lot of ways too. You can probably win a slot.
He is a man.
I like Henderson from Memphis as well. He's really good.
I love Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson's really good.
I would not hate if the Bills got him. I would not hate it.
Yeah. So the Raiders have the pick is in and looks. I don't know who it is going to be yet. We'll have to wait to see and find out.
Oh, they picked Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes, good.
I was like, if
I went back to college. I'm back in the draft. Got my degree.
Lost some weight.
Okay, last second thoughts, guys. Who do you think this pick could be?
I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs. I'm just gonna
go Josh Jacobs.
What's your decision? Josh
Jacobs. Probably not gonna be.
Gob Gronkowski.
Gob.
If it's an offensive lineman, I'll feel happy that I was slightly right, even though what's his name they signed could prove me wrong.
Yo, who do you think it's gonna be at?
I think it's gonna be Josh Jacobs.
Then I'll go with Josh Jacobs.
Bandwagon.
Josh Jacobs.
Can't blame me for being a bandwagon.
No, it sounded like you really knew the pick yourself.
Working
like you.
Smarter, not harder. Thank you very much.
Are you using your phone?
Are you using your phone?
No, I was trying not to be disrespectful like you guys. Thank you very much.
It's a team effort.
Team effort.
I'm so sorry for being disrespectful. I just want to apologize, right now.
There's no I in team, but there's 9 Vesna. If you get it, you know you get it.
I don't.
Goodell's walking
Here comes Roger Goodell. He's going to the podium to
That's a
announce
funny
the pick.
joke.
Play-by-play, just so you guys know.
With the 24th overall pick, Raiders select.
Roger Goodell announces that the pick is.
They're kind of excited.
It's Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs from University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Didn't see that.
Okay, let's see.
Job.
I think we have a package for him. Let's roll the package.
Go ahead and roll it. No, I think
we gotta.
We still gotta.
Yeah, you know.
We're rolling the package.
We also got to talk about our man Josh Jacobs here.
What does Josh Jacobs add to the Raiders?
He's thick. He is
thick.
There we go.
That boy's
big hands.
Do
Looks
you-
good in shorts.
Do you call
I
another
mean,
man thick?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I
I
can.
don't know about
okay,
that.
it's 2019.
It's
Respect.
2019.
Calm down.
2019,
All right.
yeah.
I
You look
can do
good
what
in
I want.
jeans. Okay, that's.
I don't like that.
Starting to get a little. Starting to
Yeah,
get.
no,
You know.
Okay, relax.
We'll just ignore Andre there.
Jorts.
Yeah. All right. Real quickly before we end this, what do we think the Ravens go with 25?
Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst the second. Hayden Hurst Jr.
Oh man.
Their 7th.
Karl Max Milliard. So they're gonna draft.
Oh jeez.
That'd be
Okay.
sick.
Greedy.
All right, man, I can't believe this is our 3rd NFL draft show that's in the books. And I'd say we did a pretty damn good job. We started planning for the show at the end of January, and it culminated tonight. From a show that was almost buried to the ground 3 years ago to now getting done with the 3rd draft hitting HTF draft show, it's just crazy to think. Words can't describe how grateful I am of going through this process over the last 3 years. I will always remember the bonds that I have created with everyone on set from the past to the present. And for the future, I have great faith that the show will continue to get better and better. Thank you for tuning in each and every Monday during my time, and everyone here with me on set. We love you, and we will miss this. For the last time, and signing off, peace.
Oh, that makes
Bye,
me
guys.
sad.
Bye. I love you.
Miss ya.
I think we ended a couple minutes earlier.
All right, now I'm sad.
Yeah, it looks like we weren't. Of course, Baltimore's next. I'm wearing a jacket.
Oh, good.
And I'm wearing a jacket.